The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Hey everyone, it's Antenna, and you are watching the DL Show only on Dave's Guitar Channel.
I am so happy to be here tonight. We're going to show you some magic. So I'd like you all to let go of all your preconceptions of what you think is impossible. Because tonight, absolutely nothing is impossible.
All righty, everybody. Welcome back. It is Monday night, January 30th, and we are back. Let's say hello to Matt, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Matt is here. We have Krellbar in the house.
Yo, everyone.
And I'm sure we have some more people showing up. I do know Dane will not be here tonight. And I said, that's great, Dane. Terrible. It's terrible. For those of you who enjoyed that Doug Henning bit, which was, I can say that was Krellbar. It's like laughing.
Watch me squish a fake microphone.
Oh, my God. First of all, he comes out with it. I'm like, why does that microphone not even look like a mic? And then he crushes it. It's like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
It's classic. I'm here to perform some illusions. Hey, everybody. Welcome, everybody in the chat. Ricky, Jay, Andrew, Janice Lala, welcome. Hannah Baum, Papa Blue. Great. Nice day out today here. I don't know how it was there, Matt, but I'm probably sure it was fine since you're in Florida. How's everything going? Matt, you look like you lost a few hairs. Oh, that's right. You got a haircut.
Yeah. Gonna have to change the intro picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is Matt tells me he got a haircut when we were back in the green room. And I didn't even notice because that's the way I'm used to seeing Matt has been like this. So it was like all of a sudden, every time I'd seen him with long hair, I was like jarred. And then like this time I didn't do it. Like, I'm like, oh, there's Matt.
Yeah. No, I don't have a court date.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I don't know if do you guys have Netflix?
Yep.
Yes.
I started watching this Netflix, all these episodes. I guess there's only one season about Monty Python.
Oh.
Have you guys seen?
No, what's it called?
I watched the first 2 episodes last night. I'm going to probably watch 2 tonight. It was excellent.
Is it about the making of the show?
How they start, basically it's from them from childhood, how they all met, how they knew each other. They all knew each other, and then how all the shows they were working on, and then when they decided to put their own show together.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
And what's the show called?
I think it's The Almost Truth of Monty Python.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'd like to see
Or
that.
The Truth Almost. It's something like that.
I'm sure if you just search Monty Python, it'll come up.
Yeah, I mean it's very enjoyable, especially if you're a Monty Python fan.
It's an ex-parrot.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because they talk about writing those things and what they did to do it. And it makes it funnier when you know that these guys were just knuckleheads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Almost the truth.
Almost the truth.
Okay.
Monty Python, yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's,
And
I
are
recommend it.
are they half hour or hour episodes?
Probably like a half hour. I want to say more like 40 minutes, maybe.
All right.
I can't remember, but it didn't. I don't know. The time went by. It was very good. If you're a Python fan, like I said, there was one funny bit they showed. You remember the lumberjack skit?
Nah, probably. It's been so long since.
It's
I've
when
seen
he's the
anything.
barber. He's afraid like to cut hair, so he's
No.
got like a tape recorder behind the guy's.
No, I don't remember that one.
Oh, yeah, it's a classic sketch, but it's so dumb, and I remember it as a kid. And the funny thing is, he's got the noises like he's cutting the guy's hair, and the guy's talking to him, and the guy didn't make out what he said, and he's like, "What was that?" And he repeats it, but it's all on the tape, like he knew that. It's so absurd.
Oh wow, look at that.
Oh yeah, Krell, you know the bit, the lumberjack bit. Your mic's off.
Yes, I do.
When he's cutting,
lumberjack inning.
no, but when he's cutting the hair of the guy, and he's afraid to cut his hair,
Yeah,
and he's got the tape. Right, he's got the tape, and then he's like, Terry Jones says, "What was that?" And the tape repeats. He repeats. It's those guys had to be laughing their ass off when they were writing that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb. It's
well, the
great.
movies were so great too. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Life of Brian was great. Holy Grail,
Yeah.
of course. Meanwhile,
Oh, yeah.
Life was pretty good too.
Oh, that with the fat guy throwing up on the and then
Mr.
the
Mr. Creosote. Yeah.
Unstuffed.
Grim Reaper, and he's like, "Well, how did everyone die?" The salmon moose. And they're walking all day. Goes, but I didn't eat the salmon moose.
Yeah. I use canned salmon. I'm so embarrassed.
None of you have any balls at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Meaning of Life was good. I'm a big fan of the what? A Grail? You know the Timmy pedal is actually named after Tim the Enchanter?
Really? I was wondering what it was named after.
Because the original pedal was called the Tim. It was just called Tim. Which
they were
Which is-
supposed to have horses on that set.
yeah.
That was the original plan. They just did that as a stand, and they figured that was hilarious. Just leave it in.
Yeah. There's some funny bits. John Cleese is very funny. And they all kind of, when the show, recognize Cleese. And then they have other people talking about Graham Chapman because he obviously isn't alive still. But
Yeah, a couple of them are gone.
Terry Jones died a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
well, he's in this show.
Yeah.
So they must have filmed it
must have.
before.
Well, Michael Palin's still alive. Eric Idle's still alive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's the American guy's name again? Friggin'
Terry Gilliam.
Terry
Yeah.
Gilliam.
Yeah. It was very interesting. It's still interesting. I'm still watching.
Yeah.
I think the last episode of the season, from what I saw, looked like there was a clip from the Grail. So they get up to at least the Grail.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just very interesting stuff.
That and The Young Ones. The Young Ones was one of my favorite British comedy shows.
I kind of like some of it, and some of it. And I used to watch it on and off on MTV.
Yeah, that's where I originally caught it, was MTV. But it's weird how they over there they'll do, like, even if a show's a hit, they only do like one run of episodes and then it's done. It's like, even if it's a hit, they just don't even bother to continue for some reason. But,
Yeah, I was a big Benny Hill fan.
oh yeah, I remember Benny Hill.
He was classic.
Yeah, I used to see that on like some cable show late at night, and
Yeah,
and
but here it was like
somehow there was like
56.
a scene where like some topless girl is in a window, and I was like talking to my friends, like, there was just boobs on TV. Did you see that? That was back when like, I don't know how that got by the censors, but I'm like, holy shit.
Janet
My-
Leaves was a Hills Angel.
Oh,
Janet
yeah?
Leigh from Frasier.
One of my favorites was the deputy when he's standing like this out right, and they're gonna draw guns.
Yeah, and the fake
And-
folding arms.
And no,
Oh.
and the arms that are up here are fake, and Benny's real hands come out and shoot the guy.
I like the karate one where he picks up a boulder and he bounces off trees and stuff like that.
Fucking classic.
Is that little old man? He's always slapping on the heads.
Jackie Wright.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, unbelievable. That's just great stuff. Yeah, no, I was very excited that I got to watch that I found that because I was looking around TV last night and I was like, this is good. You should see all the chaos that ensues at our gigs lately. We play this place on Saturday nights, and I'm telling you, the crowd is getting more and more unruly, just hammered. The people that are, the regulars, there was actually a few regulars that were banned. They gave them a month ban, and we couldn't be happier. But it's just like unbelievable.
Wow.
It's like full moon night every Saturday night there. So, you weren't here last week, Matt. Last week we talked about the guitar that the Tone King, he has a YouTube channel, which I don't know if you know who he is. I would imagine. If I had to guess, I would say you have no idea who he is.
No, I don't.
Okay. So Tone King's this guy who has a guitar channel, and he basically came up with this guitar idea with another guy, Phil McKnight, another person you have no idea who he is. And they decided to come up with a guitar called Badlands Guitar. And it's their like 80s guitar. They wanted an 80s guitar. Hey now, Charlie. Cheech, I'll get back to that. And he says,
like super.
so they came out with this guitar, and so we were talking about it. But basically it's like
Super Strat or something.
it's a Super Strat that kind of looks like, what was the BC Rich Super Strat called?
The ST3.
Gunslinger?
Yeah.
It looks like a gunslinger with a paint job and you know, to my point at the whole thing was, you know, I'm sure I think Tone King's around our age.
I think he's just a hair younger.
Whatever. I mean, he's around our age.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's of that 80s ilk. And I was saying, I think that our people our age, we grew up, we kind of like those 80s guitars, but we want them a little bit more modern, maybe. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
Modern in what way? Like pickup wise, or?
No, I mean more like you don't want the same 80s graphic on it that was around in the...
No. I never really got into the heavy graphic stuff. I was always like a solid color kind of guy, you know, or if it be a Gibson, like maybe a Sunburst, but never any of the flames or stars or bullseyes or any of that stuff.
The other thing is it has a tilt back headstock. Are you familiar with that concept?
Yeah, I don't like that on a Strat.
Nor do I. Which is one of the reasons why I don't care for the custom Strat that Kiesel makes, because it comes with a tilt back headstock.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But what's the worst part of a tilt back headstock? It's the fact if you got the fucking truss rod there.
Yeah.
Because now you got to take the screws off to get to the truss rod that's right there, and that neck isn't very strong anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So to me, I was like, wouldn't you have put the wheel, like the Music Man wheel on it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the most modern, best way to deal with a guitar.
That's the EVH guitars are like that too.
Yeah.
I just think if you're going to make a brand new guitar, you would I understand what a nod to the 80s is.
Uh-huh.
My point was that I just thought that it could have used a little bit more. Everyone from that like music in those days were exactly. Also, I brought up the stainless steel frets they should have went with. But I think back in those days, everyone's in their 50s now.
Yeah.
And in your 50s, you don't want the Spider-Man decal.
Yeah.
poly sprayed on your guitar. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's funny. My Harley Benton's like $260, the one that's a knockoff of a Sir, and that's got the wheel, that's got stainless steel frets. Why can't other people get that right?
I don't know. So, I mean, I hope they do well, and I hope they. Yeah, I mean, and then the guitar was $2,500, which I thought was a little high price, but I understand they're trying to make their money back, and they have a fan base following that's like, "Ooh, I got the first bat." And then, by the way, the company's called Badlands Guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to come out with a new guitar line and call it the Ozzy Osbourne with Jakey Lee guitar, but they beat me to it and put Badlands, and I'm like, they took Jakey Lee's band after.
Yeah. Or you could call it the Red Dragon cartel guitar.
I like what Joe said last week. Glary's going to come out with one. Call it the Gladlands.
Yeah, glad they're gonna rip it.
Just
Well, because he was like, that was because Dane was like, the gentleman's cut. Dane was like, by the way, the gentleman's cut was actually Jerry who comes on these shows. That was his saying, which I stole. The Dane was basically trying to he's giving the pumping him up because he's friends with them. So Dane was like, they're never going to sell them overseas. You're never going to have an import. Like somehow that matters. Like, I don't think it matters. No. Who cares? Because it's a different industry. Like if you're a USA shop and you're bringing in imports, well, your USA shop doesn't change. It's just that the imports, you've now gotten into the import exporting at Teabag. And so it's, I didn't see that as being a big deal, but I'm like, well, somebody's going to knock it off over there if you don't, because that's how China operates. You'll see it on AliExpress.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm talking about this again, everybody in the chat who wants to know, because Matt wasn't here and we wanted to get him up to date on what was going on. But anyway, so that brings me up to something that I did want to talk about. There was, which is, okay, so there's two guitar YouTube channels, the Phil McKnight and the Tone King, that you have no idea what they exist.
Right.
What are you watching, Matt? When you watch on YouTube, give me your top 3 YouTube channels or topics you're watching on YouTube.
Oh, I check out a lot of artists. There's if you're just talking guitar stuff, I've been just started following the Greg Koch stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking guitar. I just mean in general, because to me, I find all the guitar stuff boring.
Yeah, I don't really follow them. If I go to YouTube, I will sometimes look for live, like performances of certain people. Like I'll watch a Buckethead concert or something.
Absolutely.
But no, I really mostly check out just artists, because I do sculpture and stuff too. So I'll check out different, illustrators and sculptors and things like that. So.
Hannibal, I haven't seen Marble Races in a while. You just reminded me. It came out of my feed, so I haven't watched it. Yeah, I have a hard time with the YouTube community in general. I just feel like it's a lot of clickbait stuff, or it's just not interesting to me.
Yeah, no, the stuff I watch is mostly like educational stuff. I'm watching it to learn something, not to like.
Right.
Just,
so have you seen Uncle Doug?
No.
Uncle Doug is fun. You would love it. So Uncle Doug will sit there and take apart amplifiers and put them back.
Oh,
he's
cool.
And you learn all about the tubes. He talks about how the tubes work, why these tubes, and so Uncle Doug is excellent. And the guitarologist who comes on the show sometimes, Brad, who sometimes in the chat, does the same thing. Fixes amps, talks about repairs, checks out guitars. What I don't like is the guys who are trying to make a big deal out of like some amplifier, because it's all the same. I'm so over the gear chasing bit.
So it was Uncle Doug, and what was the other? The somethingologist?
Guitarologist.
Guitarologist. I'll check him out.
Yeah. So,
Is
I mean,
doing-
as far as guitar related stuff,
Yeah. No, because
um,
I'm starting to get into that. I'm doing like setups and repairs and stuff now, and going to start putting like a
but so
kind of a
Casino
side business
Guitars put
together.
out a video, Andrew Collins saying Casino, and Casino bugs me. Anderton's bugs me. I don't mind Anderton as much because they're selling so much different stuff. They're comparing stuff they sell.
Mhm.
Casino talks like a couple of guys who work at a shop but don't want to say anything bad about anybody because or speak the truth because they also are dealing with reps of that company and everything else. So it's like they can't fully be honest. It's almost like, so to me it's just, and I hate when people say sound like this on a budget, sound like this. It's like, give me a fucking break. And yeah, I just wish there was more like people speaking the truth.
Mhm.
You know, like just the whole thing with like tone wood and tubes and everything. It's like fucking learn how to play.
Mhm.
Play. When we were kids, now the three of us here, we all grew up, you know, our formative years, late 70s, early 80s. When we started playing guitar, people, they never sat there and said, oh man, you should get that guitar in mahogany for those rich tones and you should you just fucking played. Everyone was more interested in, did you get that record? Did you figure out how to play that riff? It was
Mhm.
so much more musical
Yeah.
and interesting.
Well,
And-
you had to work for it. You had to work to learn stuff off records.
Oh, yeah.
You use your ears, not like
You
just
didn't
go
have
to
YouTube.
didn't go to YouTube and go find the tab right there and shit. It's like you can learn to play.
And the
anything.
tabs
And
are
in the
usually
record-
pretty
And
horrible.
in the record,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like,
I thought it was the greatest thing when I found this cassette player that you could slow down the tape. You know, it wouldn't stay in pitch, but you could
Right.
slow down the
Yeah.
speed of this tape. And I was like, I got to get one of those. It was some kind of like journalist thing or something. And I got it and I was like, wow, I had a great find.
you know
this
what I
way.
used? I used the Casio keyboard. It was like $100. This very small keyboard. It was a sampling keyboard, and you could sample it, and it would sample at middle C, and then you could, if you
Right.
dropped it down an octave, it would slow it. Was that the SD1 or something like that?
I don't know. But to me, it's like just play.
Mhm.
Just fucking play. It doesn't matter.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, look, and also, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the end all authority on what good guitar tone is, but I am. No, I'm not. But I'm just gonna say, again, I'm listening today, and Alone Again comes on
Mhm.
and George Lynch's solo sound in that song is abysmal. How did they let that get on record like that?
This is the portion of
does
the
sound
show
like
where
a bust.
Dave picks on George Lynch.
No, I'm just saying that guitar tone is horrendous, and the solo's beautiful.
This is
It's
Lynch.
a fantastic solo. It's a great solo, but what the hell is he doing with that tone? Who produced
Well,
that record?
that-
They got to be deaf in one ear and can't
Yeah.
hear out of the other.
That was their second album, though, and they were probably like, under the, it probably wasn't much of his choice, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Just
I did see an interesting video the other day where this guy was like, the Van Halen Brown sound just the way it was really done. But he actually had it, and he showed what he was using. He was using what was it, a 68, plexi, and he
Yeah.
had the Variac and like an EQ, and it sounded like that sound, man. I mean, it was right on.
yeah.
But and then I saw one of the it's this place, the Music Zoo, and they've got these EVH 78 Eruption, the black and white striped, one from Van Halen 1. And they were comparing it to one. They did a limited run, I guess, of only 8 of these ones that were done when Eddie was still alive. And the whole catch to these things, and they're probably like $25,000, which is like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I guess it was made by Chip Ellis, I think, or something. One of those guys that builds for like Jackson Charvel and Fender and all that shit. And the ones that were like a run of 8, what you got when you bought this was you got a thumb drive where Eddie actually played Eruption on each one of those guitars, and they filmed it. And you had to have some kind of agreement when you bought this thing that you would never release that and never like put it on YouTube or anything like that. So you've got this video of Eddie playing your guitar, playing Eruption on the guitar that you own. And I'm like, that's kind of cool, but I ain't going to pay like $25,000 for it.
I wouldn't pay $25 for that added feature. I mean, you got to be out of your fucking mind. How about Eddie, play your own fucking guitar? If I'm paying 25 grand, I don't want those greasy fucking cigarette stained mitts all over it.
Oh man, Dave, jeez.
Just saying, you're gonna charge me 25 grand for a fucking Strat? Get your fucking dirty.
Eddie, get the
You ever see his
fucking
fingernails? He looks like he's never seen a thing of lava soap.
I don't know the actual price of those, but if it was a limited to 8 guitars, it's got to be insane. You know,
It's a 300. It costs them 300 in parts
I
to
know,
make
I
that
know.
fucking thing.
And they were showing it in comparison to the $1,800 one, and they're like, really, there's only a couple of little things that are different that you couldn't probably do yourself that, you know, would make it just like the other one, you know, except it did have the $1,800 one did have the thumb wheel truss rod adjustment as opposed to where the other one
Oh,
didn't.
so it was better. They upgraded the $1,800 one. Listen, for the extra money, we're going to take away all the greatness that this guitar comes with. The other one, the new one has stainless frets for $1,800, but you don't want that. You want the same exact way Eddie played it. No,
Yeah.
I think I want the $1,800. No.
Well, I'm sure those were probably gone before they ever, you know, even got out. I mean, those were bought up by collectors. Yeah, by the people who buy them and put them away and just.
Let me tell you something, and this is for everybody in the chat. If you are really, really hung up on getting a custom made Eddie Van Halen, like that first fucking Strat. Now, here's all you got to do. Call Warmouth, order a white fucking body, get the pick guard and tell them not to cut it because they'll give you just the whatever he had cut out of that pick guard.
Yeah.
Put a fucking neck on it. You can put any kind of frets you want on it with the same exact. You could put the Gibson fucking logo on the headstock like he did in the beginning. Didn't he have a Gibson on his headstock?
Yeah, for a little while. Yeah.
And you can put the
Brass
bicycle tape and do the lines all yourself.
Mhm.
And you can tell everyone, and you know what? It might cost you at the end of the day for everything $1,200. You'll
Well,
have a
some of
USA.
Some of the stripes were paint and some were tape. So it was a combination.
That was later, I thought.
No,
I thought the original one was tape.
No, the original was some black. It had, if you look, there's a picture of him I've seen where he's got like a taped like mustache and like goatee thing. And you can see it's got the bigger stripes were paint. And then the smaller ones, I think, were tape because there's a picture of him with it and it's just got the big stripes. And then the little ones aren't on there. But no, most of it was painted and it was originally black and then he taped it off and painted it white. And then,
right. And you can do that.
Yeah.
No one's stopping you from doing it.
Yeah. And then there's so many guys on YouTube now that will tell you how exactly to do even not just the black and white one, but the Frankenstrat, the red one.
I actually like those videos.
Yeah, I've seen guys go into great detail about how to paint it exactly like his, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you guys really, I mean, guys that research every fucking thing about it, every dent, ding, and you know, everything.
Well,
there are channels that will talk about Van Halen ad nauseum.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's what they think. That's where music ends and begins. I loved Van Halen when I was a kid and Women and Children first came out. I was like, these guys are fucking awesome. At 54 years old, I really don't want to fucking relitigate every little fucking song and note that he played. Mm-hmm. Although I was listening to a song today and I was like, there were 3 guitars on there, 1 guitar on the main track and 2 overdubbed guitars. What the hell's what the hell song is that?
On which album?
Is it Mean Streets?
But
the end, how does Mean Street ends? Where it slides C to D. It's like
yeah.
Yeah.
3 guitars playing.
Yeah.
The one playing the A, bouncing the A, then the one playing C to D, just sliding 5th fret to 7th fret, and then the lead, and he starts just noodling.
Well, when you were talking about the pick guard, it reminded me. I think on the one that they say is a exact duplicate, the pick guard is actually cut smooth. But if you look at his, it was jagged as fuck, man. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he didn't like try to smooth it out at all. If you get a close up picture of his original, the black pick guard was very like rough cut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we used a soldering iron or something like that to cut the fucking thing.
Ever heard of a scraper, Ed? Yeah. But there's
But I'm
some-
just, it's funny. The YouTube guitar community is all about Eddie, and which is great. I mean, Eddie was great, but there's some other fucking great players. I'll tell you, as I was telling you, I was listening to a lot of Scorpions. I think Uli, his fucking playing in the 70s, I wanted to bring him up, but I'll bring him up a little later. But Matthias also, Matthias is very good. But you know what I noticed about Matthias? When Matthias has to play the Uli stuff, he doesn't play anything like it.
Mhm.
He stays away from, he's not a very good picker, I guess. He stays away from like the quick picking stuff. I was watching the Scorpions play some. And by the way, next week I'll be starting the All Scorpions channel. We're going to die. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't even recall hearing Matthias play hardly any of the Uli stuff.
So I heard Catch Your Train the other day as I was listening to Virgin Killers. So afterwards, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if Matthias ever tried this." So I looked up to see if they did it live later, and they did. And his playing is like, it's Matthias doing Matthias, but he's not doing Uli. But I still like. I mean, I like Matthias a lot. I think he's a great player.
That's my brother's favorite player.
He definitely brought more pop elements and kind of like the Van Halen thing to the Scorpions. He kind of brought that edge. But
He put his
And he's the
stripes
most-
on his
He's the
Explorer.
most German-looking guy in the band, in my opinion, too. He's got that.
The Frankenstein.
Well, he looks like-
brow.
I was going to say, he looks like somebody I know from Germany, a guy named Frankenstein. Fire bad. But he played a Strat, but yeah, he plays that Explorer
With the stripes
fucking
on it.
stripes.
Yeah.
With the stripes. So I mean, he's
hated
not
that.
even hiding it.
I hated that he put stripes on that Explorer.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, just
There was
like
something
I'd like
about
to put 3
Bumblebee
stripes on my
stripes.
Explorer. Why?
Because I
Who
can.
do you think the best? So who do you think the best shredders? Like we talk about shredders of the '70s were.
Well, you mentioned Uli.
I think Uli's number one.
And it's well, you got Michael Schenker too.
Yeah, I don't know. if
I
I'd
don't
say
consider
he's
him a
shredder.
shred.
Yeah.
He's really.
Well, Picken's going to be really thin then. You could say Alan Holdsworth.
Well, I
Sure,
would
he
say
was
Al
awesome.
Demiola before that, because I think
Al
Elegant
Di
Gypsy
Gypsy
probably
stuff.
has influenced more 80s shredders than.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We love Schenker too, Jeff. My thing about Schenker is he's so much more of like a rock player.
Yeah.
Although he can play, I don't think he really started playing till after 80. that
Well,
he
if you're
started
saying
really
70s,
stretching.
you got to say Eddie then too, because he's 78. You know?
I give it to Eddie.
Yeah.
But I also think, what about guys like Jan Ackerman?
I was just going to say that. I knew you were thinking of that from Focus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a monster player.
Yeah, well, that was very influential. When I was 5 years old, and I saw him on the Midnight Special doing Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah, when you watch that Midnight Special thing, he's shredding his for 1973 or 4.
Yeah,
he's shredding
that's-
his fucking balls off.
They-
I mean, he's playing stuff you don't hear guys play like that back then.
Mhm.
You know?
you probably have to say McLaughlin too, right?
Absolutely, you
John
have to.
McLaughlin.
The jazz guys definitely gave an influence to some of those. But it's funny because none of us had said Blackmore.
Mhm.
No, he's not.
Someone in the chat did, yeah. Ed Dana said Blackmore.
Yeah, but I'm talking us.
Well,
Yeah,
Frank
like
Marino
us-
had chops. He
I
had
don't think
like,
Blackmore is a shredder so much. I mean, I think he influenced some of the guys. He definitely influenced
Yeah.
Ingve how to dress,
Yeah.
how to tease his hair.
Yeah. It kills me.
I mean, I love Blackmore. The riffs are great,
Mhm.
but I just think that if you listen to Catch Your Train, you can hear fucking Yngwie. I can see a young Yngwie fucking writing down every note.
I will say this about Al Di Meola. He settled on a superior hair system.
Yes.
His hair looks excellent now. There was some tragic moments in his career.
Oh yeah, he had the Steven Seagal like hard
the
hard toupee going.
I'll tell you right now, Elegant Gypsy is one of my favorite records, not
Hard
even
to
just for
tone.
the fast playing,
Mhm.
but some of the beautiful stuff. Lady of Rome, Sister of Brazil, whatever the hell that song's
Mm.
called, which I think I just named it perfectly.
I don't know. Have you ever met him, Dave?
Who's that?
Di Meola.
No. No.
Oh, okay. I did once. I saw him in Indianapolis play, and me and some friends, we somehow, I don't even remember how we got back, and he was like sitting on his desk. And he was a total dick. You know, he didn't give a shit about any, like guitar questions. He was like trying to look at, girls or something. I was like,
Right.
yeah, he was a total dickwad. So
Yeah.
Well,
I've heard
if you
that
see him
about
in interviews, it's like he has this very subdued sense of humor. It's like I've seen interviews with him where he's actually pretty funny, but he's just totally straight faced.
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I know it is what it is.
yeah. This was so long ago, but yeah, he was a turd.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I always liked that album though. The album afterwards, what's it called? Casino.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Casino.
I always thought that was just okay. Was that the one with Senior Mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I always thought that was just okay. Oh, a lot of the country guys, Jerry Reed in the 70s was fantastic.
Not his best album, but there's some good stuff on it. Is Splendido Hotel.
Roy Clark.
Yeah,
for shred.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff H says Lukather in the 70s. He was great.
Mm-hmm. Still is.
Anyone say Glenn Campbell yet?
How's Glenn Campbell? But, what's going on today, though, if we look at these guys and then we looked at what came into the 80s, and a lot of the 80s stuff, do we try not to forget? Like, I mean, do you think, and not to pick on George Lynch, because I'm sure he's a nice guy, but do you think George...
Not really. I met him, too. He was kind of a dick.
Yeah, but do you think George says, oh, you want to hear a great tone? Listen to my solo on Alone Again.
Yeah.
Do you think he's ever doing that, or do you think he's saying, listen to 10 Years Gone by Led Zeppelin like the rest of us?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what happened in that early 80s time. There was some weird stuff going on. But now we have a whole new generation of, I mean, is guitar done?
No.
Look at these guys on YouTube. So there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Robert Barnby, I think his name is. He's a jazz guy from England.
Yeah,
great.
you're the one that turned me.
He's a
on
great player who's great at teaching, but nobody's playing anything that's interesting. I mean, so I keep bringing up this guy Glenn Fricker, who I enjoy his channel. I don't like the videos when he says, like, can you play metal on a Telecaster? You can play fucking whatever you want. Every guitar is the same. Don't even get.
He hasn't done that in years, though. I think he's.
No, he just did. This is what the pickup companies don't want you to know, and he did a video. It was just recent. But my point is, look, I don't like those videos. But when he has videos and he talks about recording and what he does for a living, I thoroughly enjoy his channel. My only issue with him is I just don't want to listen to him play.
Mm-hmm.
He plays metal riffs like you're walking into Guitar Center. And you know what I'm saying about that? You know what I'm talking about? It's just like, it's just all that movement stuff. And I'm just like, fuck me. I just killed.
Yeah, you want him to have the guest guitar players on that he has.
Then it would be good.
Yeah. But
I don't want to hear him play. And I know it sounds like I'm a douche for saying that, but I don't care. When I see him play, I always I have Apple TV, so I hit the button at 10 seconds fast forwards into the video, and I hope its playing's done. And I like the guy. I think his personality is awesome. He's probably a great guy. He's funny. Everything about his channel, he has a lot of people watching the channel, but like, don't play. Don't play. Sorry.
Dave, you're sounding like George Lynch. Don't be a turd.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Have you guys seen this kid, Max Ostro or Ostrom or something like that? Have you seen this kid?
No.
He's pretty phenomenal. I mean, I think he's one of those Russian prodigy dudes or something. But if you look him up on Instagram, he posts it's just him like soloing over shit, but it's pretty impressive technique and
But the whole point, again, what I'm saying is there's no more songs.
oh yeah. See,
Yeah,
that's the
fuck
thing too, is
copyright.
that that's something that these kids who can play got phenomenal technique. It's like, well, that's great, but that's only going to take you so far. You're not going to, if you don't have good songs and like stuff that people actually want to pay money for, what are you going to do? Are you just going to put YouTube videos out all the time of you playing solos?
Circus act.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks because there's no songs, and it's like. So I heard a song. I've been listening to Spotify. Does anyone here listen to Spotify? Anyone ever listen to
Sometimes.
Spotify? Okay, so Spotify runs ads because I'm not paying for Spotify, and they always play like you would imagine that these fucking geniuses at Spotify would know what I've clicked that I like on it and what I don't like on it, that they wouldn't keep playing the fucking Miley Cyrus ad for this song Flowers.
Well,
So they play 10 seconds of the song, and I'm like, this is a fucking Ace of Base song that I hated 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It's fucking Beautiful Life by Ace of Base. What the fuck? And I'm sure if you look it up, there's probably 4 or 5 writers on the song. It was probably like, okay, look it up. All right, if I'm looking it up, I'm getting writing credit. Okay, now you steal the chords. All right, I'll steal. It's really sad.
what I hate are the commercials that they keep playing for. Get your COVID-19 boosters.
Oh, God.
It's like fucking.
I'm down with Rebelsis.
Oh yeah. I seen that jerkwad.
That guy, are you down with Rebelsis, you fucking imbecile? How about you're down with eating 3 cheese pizzas, which is why you have to take Rebelsis?
Yeah.
Put the fucking fork down. Figure out your diet.
Yeah,
And
but that's
stop
true.
jumping the pills.
I'm listening to like a 60s rock station, and they have like modern music commercials in it. Like I want to listen to, like you said, Miley Cyrus or whoever they have on there.
One of the things that pissed me off when I used to have Sirius was if I'm listening to Ozzy's Boneyard, and then they're like, the DJ would talk. And I'm like, number one, why is there a DJ talking? Number two, why are they telling me that Ed Sheeran is playing live?
Yeah.
I'm listening to Ozzy's Boneyard.
Don't miss Ed Sheeran.
It's like, oh, guys, Ed Sheeran tickets go on sale next Monday. I'm like, what? This is like going into Alcoholics Anonymous and sitting there saying, guys, Buffalo Trace on sale. They'd all be like, what? Where?
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, and it's unbelievable, though. They have, how much do you think they paid Martha Stewart to tell you to get the fucking jab?
Oh, geez.
I got my booster.
Fuck you.
I'm like, what kind of money did they have to pay you to say this?
I don't know.
Have you guys seen, and not to be bad-mouthing the jab, because I could do that all fucking night.
So could I.
Have you guys seen the video that they released of what's the guy's name? The football player that had the heart thing?
Oh, Hamlin?
Yeah, DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video?
No.
No.
So it's a video of him talking. There's a fucking cut in the video, I want to say, every 2 seconds. They couldn't get this guy. And at one point, it sounds like he had labored breathing, but they don't let you hear it for more than a second. And then they have and I noticed, once I caught that, I heard labored breathing. I noticed there's a background track playing over it with a heavy beat. So you can't really hear him clearly. And you don't notice that the fucking video is cut up like crazy.
Wow.
It's like every other word, there's a cut. Guys, look this video. Well, hey now, Jan, you can look it up. it's really ridiculous.
I always thought he
there
was
was-
doing better than that.
There was some other like recently some 25-year-old football player that dropped dead too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's not forget our football players over in Europe too. The
Oh geez, yeah.
soccer.
They're not going to tell you. They don't publicize that shit.
Well, they're not even studying it. That's the whole
Oh,
thing.
he did, Jay?
That's-
I haven't seen
fine.
that, but yeah, the video is so cut up. It bothered me. Like watching it, I'm like, why? Also, this. He goes to a football game, right? He went to the last playoff game the Bills were in. They show him pulling in the car, and then he has security guards all around him. He goes in the building, and then the only time the camera's on him, he's waving in the fucking room, right? That room is like a heated room, and he still has his coat on and all covered up. No way was that him. So the point is, because if it was him and they wanted to show that it was him, they would have put a microphone in front of him and said, "Hey, how you feeling?" He'd be like, "I'm feeling fucking great." That's how the world works. This was like moon over fucking Parador.
Mm-hmm.
That Richard
seen-
Dreyfuss.
Right. Remember when they have to,
I haven't
he's
seen
got,
that since I was a kid.
he's got to go double as the fucking ruler of the fucking, of the South American country. He's going to be the dictator of the Central American country. It's fucking moon over Parador. There's no way that's the guy. And knowing that that's not the guy, what are they doing? Like, why are you trying to make this into something? It's insane. And then show the video of him. He comes in a room, he takes off his jacket. I bet you that winded him. This guy, because let me tell you, anyone that goes in for heart surgery or has a heart episode, after like a week, you got to go into fucking, you got to go into recovery. You got to go into rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take you fucking 5 or 6 weeks to learn how to open a car door. I don't care what they had. You know what I mean? They had this guy. What? So what the hell are they doing? Now you have to watch this video, how edited it is. It's Jeff, I'm telling you, watch it. And you have to see what's going on here. It's insane. And then you got Martha Stewart saying, "I'm protected." Well, let me ask you this. Why do they give a fuck if I get the shot? If you're protected and you got the shot, go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
What do you need me to be protected for?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're going to be protected from death and catching it, supposedly. It's like, so.
Somebody came up to me the other day and they were like, "You're not protected." I'm like, "I have a condom on."
Shows you full of shit.
Horrible joke. Anyways. But yeah, anyway, so that's
How did we get from 70s guitar to this?
because none
I
of the guys
mentioned
in the
the COVID
70s got the
commercials.
jab. What is it?
Yeah, I mentioned the COVID commercials on.
Oh yeah. Well, and that made me think of Martha Stewart because I just saw it before when I was eating earlier. I was like, Martha Stewart's trying to fucking sell me the jab. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't even think she
Bitch
got
that
it.
did time for fucking tax fraud or whatever.
Right. How much more? Because she's
Curious.
loaded. What the fuck? How much are they paying her to do that commercial?
I don't know.
Maybe the same amount as Paul Giamatti playing Einstein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I see him in all kinds of weird shit that I'm like, boy, his career certainly took a fucking dive.
they got to be paying him crazy fucking
Yeah.
money. Why else would you do the Verizon ads? He was Ebenezer Scrooge over Christmas, and then he did the Einstein after.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that guy used to just do movies. I mean, I know commercials, I'm sure they paid him a shitload of money. but
And what's
it's
her
like-
name? Cecily.
The girl from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, Cecily something. I mean,
Thompson.
she's got to be getting a paycheck, which I'm sure she's thrilled about because no one's putting her in movies.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just they did the best they could to try to show you that he was better. But it's like, why do you need a cut every 2 seconds unless he's fucked up?
Mhm. Oh,
Which
yeah.
is a terrible thing. I don't want anybody to be sick. I don't want anybody to be ill. But it's like if somebody's ill and somebody's sick, find out what the fuck is going on and don't try to cover shit.
That's the science. That's what science is. Hey, look, you want to say it's not the vaccines? Well, go out and do the studies to prove it. You know, it's like do the friggin' studies, but they won't do it because they just say, "Well, you're a conspiracy theorist."
Yeah. Unfortunately for the world, the conspiracy theorists have been right for the past 3 years about everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that whole term was made up by like one of the presidents a long time ago to just ridicule people that question authority. You know, it's like, oh, well, we'll call them conspiracy theorists, and then whenever we call them that, people will just, you know, they'll be automatically discredited, and you know, everyone will think they're crazy. Yeah. It was completely planned, you know, to make people who question what they're doing look foolish.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolute bullshit. Mm-hmm. Getting back though to YouTube guitar players or YouTube channels in general. Mm-hmm. Krell, what about you? Are you watching anything interesting?
Let's see. You watch Brandon Herrera at all? The gun channel? He's pretty good.
I watch a few gun channels because I watch. I have a few. I don't know some of everyone's names, but
yeah, Brandon Herrera is wicked good. Another one is Bill McClintock. He does these mashups. Like he'll take Leo Sayer and Metallica and have James Hetfield singing over "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing."
Yep,
I saw that.
Those videos just friggin' make me crack.
Somebody sent me one the other day, and it was they put some other music to One, Metallica's One.
Yeah, that's his channel.
And I can't remember what the other tune was. It was something like Dixie's Midnight Runners or something, or some other, you know, complete.
I saw that. I can't remember which one it was. But.
Yeah, but it was really funny. It was funny.
I'm going to my history here. Oh, okay. So I like Dr. Ken Berry. He's a carnivore guy.
Oh, it's Men at Work.
Yes, that was
Land
it.
Down Under.
Yeah.
Wonder, ONE.
Yeah.
I watch H.A. Goodman. He's a political channel. And Guitar Max channel's pretty good. I know Max. I was friends with Max. Yeah, Max for a while. Do you know Max? Max, well, I don't know if he says his name. I don't want to say his full name on the show if people don't know his name.
Mean, he's kind of out there. He played in some bands too.
But Matt, did you know him?
I don't think so.
No. You would know him from Face because you were working out of Gold's when he was there.
Oh, he's an LA guy.
LA guy, and then he went to Gold's in North Hollywood, probably. Yeah, I know Max. Yeah, Max is actually very good friends with a buddy of mine. Did you know Mark Laham?
That name sounds familiar.
He used to work at PRS and then at Gibson doing pickups and stuff. He has long hair, kind of like Billy Squire hair that used to work out at Gold's.
That definitely sounds familiar.
Yeah.
He's not hiding his real name. I found it in 1 second.
Oh, okay. So it's Carlisle.
Yeah. Okay. Maxwell. Yeah. He's with the 3 X's.
Yeah. 3 X's. He's a good kid. I like Max. He's a good kid. He used to come into West LA quite a bit when I worked there. Mm-hmm. And yeah. You know, Max was always more into for me, I call it pedestrian heavy metal. Mm-hmm. It's the heavy metal that I just don't find that I don't like, and I'm not putting it down because everyone likes different stuff. But it's just it was never my stuff. Who did he play with?
It was a girl singer in the group. It was oh God, what?
I think he was also playing with the guy that was the original singer in Anthrax. What was his name? But the guy before Joey Belladonna.
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, he used to play around LA.
Oh, Hellion. He played in Hellion.
Oh, okay. He played in Hellion. But what was the guy's name? He also played with the guy who I'm thinking of.
Let's see.
It was the singer. Anybody in the chat, if you know who the singer was before Joey Belladonna? For a
Neil
while,
Turbin.
he used. Oh,
Neil
Neil
Turbin.
Turbin. Thank you very much. Yeah, Elroy got it. Yeah. Yeah, he used to play Turbin and him had a band together. Tara Berry, Steve Turbery recently did a solo swap video like Journey and Twisted Sister, Alice in Chains, and Hendrix. Yeah, again, I don't really watch too much music stuff. Matt, if you keep yawning.
No, I know. I'm
Sorry,
usually
man.
guilty of that.
But
Sorry, Rick.
What was I just thinking about there? Anyways, yeah, so Neil Turbin. Neil Turbin used to go, Guthrie Trapp's the country player. He's a great player. Fucking great. Yeah, I see him sometimes doing some guitar lesson stuff. I try to watch that. Tony Campanovo, he plays fusion, explains what they are in simple terms. Oh, that sounds cool. I think I actually saw him. He was a guy playing fusion, talking about fusion and breaking it down. Yeah, huge Vela Varta. Yeah, I don't know. The whole problem is I just wish there was somebody playing music, or if there were bands or anything. It becomes very boring.
Mm-hmm.
There was something that came up in my thing, and it was like somebody put different tubes in an amp, or some mod that's going to make it sound like George Lynch. And I'm like, oh, is it a swimming pool? You're going to put the amp at the bottom of the pool? I'm telling you, in that song, without, because I like Alone Again. I think it's a great song.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that solo, when it comes in, it's like, it's very reminiscent of Vivian Campbell's tone. Nobody has ever said, Vivian, how did you get that sound? That's not what they're saying.
That's true.
That is not what they're saying.
Yeah,
What
here's
else
a
did I
channel
have?
that you recommended once, Dave. That kid, Justin Lee Schultz,
Oh, he's fantastic.
plays all different instruments, piano, guitar.
Yeah, but he's playing fusion and jazz. I mean, he's unbelievable. Let me just look at something real quick here for a second.
Snowball, I like the darkness too. I didn't know their drummer was going to the Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, what's the drummer's name? He's
It's Roger Taylor's
someone's-
kid,
right. I was gonna
Rufus
say it's somebody's kid.
Rufus Taylor. He's been with him for a while too.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so that's all you guys. So do you guys watch political stuff too, or anyone? You know, I've been enjoying is
Yeah,
Jimmy Dore. Jimmy
Yeah,
Dore's a
I've watched
liberal
him.
comedian who's now waking up, I would say,
Oh,
becoming
Yeah,
more
he's-
anti-establishment.
mm-mm.
Yeah, I watch his stuff every now and then.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah,
I've also been watching the Sopranos podcasts and started to watch Pajama Party, which is the two kids in the Soprano, AJ and
Jamie Lee
Meadow.
Sigler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
Meadow. They have it. And they had
Yeah, I watched
Oh, okay.
that Talking Sopranos probably a year ago. I was watching that on and off.
yeah, I mean, Jimmy Dore is funny. He says he had his ass kicked. Yeah, because he used to be so far left, and now he's to me. I think he's waking up, which is always good. People need to wake up. I don't know if any of you guys saw that fucking video that Project Veritas had with the guy from Pfizer,
No.
and he gets up and he's like, "Vito, it's a joke. It's okay. It's a fucking." Yeah. Actually, I think I have the Project Veritas video. Here's when they busted the guy and told him he was on camera.
It's a fucking joke.
Yeah. Fuck you, Dave.
Wake up to what? He's finally waking up to figure out that he's becoming anti-establishment and figuring out that they're all full of shit. Yeah. Well, thank you, Abdul. I enjoy that word, intuitive. I relate to that word, if you
I
will.
resemble that.
But yeah, I mean, it's lots of shit going on. But this fucking Project Veritas, they have this kid and he's sitting there in the place telling them how they're putting the virus in monkeys and trying to mutate it so they can get ahead of it and release it and basically have the shots for it. It's like, and then he's like, I'm on a date. Jimmy Dore said something hilarious because the guy was like, I'm on a date. I was lying. And he's like, I work, we're good people doing good stuff. Like you couldn't sell that on your date. On your date, you got to be like, you're Dr. Evil, right? It's like.
That's where I heard. That's a Jimmy Dore one I just saw the other day. That's where I saw that. About the basically gain of function.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's fucking hilarious when. Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
Snowball, I have seen the Justin rides again a couple of times.
It's crazy.
Have you guys seen is it JP Sears? You know who JP Sears is? He's this comedian. He's got like long red hair and a beard, and he's like buff, and he like always does these funny like skits on the whole leftist shit, and he always does it tongue in cheek to where it's like he's kind of saying he kind of acts like he's on their side, but he points out things that are wrong with it,
Yeah.
So it's
fucking great.
Yeah, you should look him up. You'd enjoy his shit.
Yeah, I mean, I look up all that stuff because I find the music stuff just like I said, occasionally you find a player that you like and it's great, and occasionally you'll see like someone doing like the gear stuff. I just don't care. Like someone's like, oh, this is the best. What was it? This is the best Les Paul Jr. I ever had, and some guy just I don't know. It was a custom made Les Paul Jr. And I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Oh,
it's a fucking neck, a fucking body. It's got 2 pickups. It's got the wraparound bridge. Yay for you. Who cares?
Now that you said Les Paul Jr., that reminds me of when I was watching that Van Halen thing where he had the 2 78 eruption guitars. He said, and I guess,
hey Abdul, have a good shift, man.
I don't know how he knows this, but when they did the photo shoot for the first Van Halen album, Eddie actually did the same shoot with a Les Paul Jr. in his hand instead of the black and white striped guitar. And they're like, it came down to deciding which guitar was going to be on that cover. It very well could have been a Les Paul Jr.
Right.
Because they did the shoot with it. And then, they chose to go with the striped one. Can you imagine how different things would have been if that would have been the cover?
Code 4, Abdul. Is it code 4? All clear? Is that what it is, Abdul? Code 4? For some reason, that's what I'm thinking it is. Al Sparks. I don't know who that is. Hal Sparks?
Yeah, he sings in that Nerd Halen. He's an actor.
Oh,
he was on Talk Soup. He's one of the
Larry, he's a photographer. That's I know it's weird. I was echoing. Yeah, Larry DiMarzio is a photographer. That's funny because Eddie recorded, I think he used 3 different guitars or 4 different guitars on the first Van Halen album. I know there's a Les Paul on there.
The Ibanez Destroyer.
Ibanez Destroyer, the Strat.
And I don't know.
And maybe the Junior.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because I know the main riff in Jamie's Crying was the Les Paul. Only because years ago I remember reading and they asked what he played on that. He was like, the lead is a Strat and the rhythm part is a Paul.
Huh. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what he used on all the different.
Yeah, now you can find out all this information if you guys just watch Johnny Bean's channel. Now you're going to have to go through 14,000 hours of discussions of Eddie. Somewhere in there that might come up, maybe. I think, and Johnny Bean, if you're watching, I hope you know I'm playing. I could care less. So you got way more subs than I do, I think so. At least you get more people that watch your show. We have 42 people watching my show.
That's
And,
not bad.
No, I'm just saying, but you if you ever watch some of these live things, I
500.
think I have 5 more than Johnny does. Not Johnny Bean, but Johnny Kramer. And Johnny Kramer, I have 5 more than he does, and he's just. Oh, there you go. Jeff just subscribed. Excellent. I'm glad I could. All right. So now I don't feel bad because if Johnny says, "What are you always busting my balls for talking about Van Halen?" I'm getting you fucking subs. You can't get these people away from Van Halen. You can't cut a wet fart without somebody that's in love with Van Halen sniffing it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm sure, Johnny, but I'm sure Ricky, but somehow he's getting just as many people watching his show as I do. What's that kid from Canada that does a show on Sundays? He gets more people than I do. I listen to him for 4 seconds, and I'm
Pete
looking.
Thorne?
No, and I'm looking for rope.
Uh,
I don't remember his name. He's a nice kid. He's in Canada there.
is it Agu?
He did the thing with the show with Nesdal about how you need 900 guitars before you go.
Oh, Ben Combs.
There you go.
Yeah,
You
he's a
need
good
900 guitars. Hey guys, Dave, I saw the mandolin lesson. How long have I been playing mandolin? Since this afternoon. No. So interesting story about that mandolin. That's my Breedlove, which is right here. So, Matt, you remember Lee Carreri?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am working at West LA Music, and Breedlove comes in, and I'm like, the guy's playing this Breedlove mandolin. I'm like, that's the best sounding mandolin I've ever heard. I want to buy one. He's like, what do you want? Well, we'll send it to your house. I'll ship it straight to you, and we'll get you 20 off cost, and you'll be all, and just pay us when you get it. I'm like, all right, great. So they send me out a mandolin. I get it. I get it. I go to my house because I know it was coming in the mail that day. They sent me a notification. So I'm at work. I go to pick it up, and I get a text. Do you play mandolin? From Lee. And I said, I sure do. And he's like, can you do a session for me tonight? I said, absolutely. Send me the track. Send me the track. So he sends me the track, and I get to hear what he wants me to play. And fucking in the next few hours, I'm figuring out how to play the fucking thing because I've never played it. Anyways, long story short, it was like for a commercial. It paid me almost double what I paid for the thing. So I ended up just, it was like serendipitous, but it's like getting it for free. And that was my first day. Oh, it is code 4. Yeah. All right. Well, I used to go on ride-alongs with the LAPD because I used to do the PAL program going into the inner city of South Central and talking music with the kids with Newton Division. And anytime my buddy Bob, who was the cop at Newton Division, would say, like, everything's all set, he'd be like, code 4. That's... yeah, Hannibal, yeah. Anyways, so that's how I learned how to play mandolin. And so I don't get to play it that often. I play it every Saturday night at my gig. I do, we just added we added a couple of songs. I play a John Cougar Mellencamp song, Check It Out. I do that on the mandolin, and I do Cherry Bomb, and I do Going to California from Zeppelin.
No Stonehenge.
No Battle of Evermore.
But I mean, I have played the Battle of Evermore. I mean, I wanted to do Maggie May, but we just never got around to it. But I like to. It's an easy instrument once you figure it out. Everything's tuned in fifths, and it's strings. I mean, so it's like once you play guitar, you can play any stringed instrument, at least fake it.
Mm-hmm.
So that video came. So what happened was I was watching The Professor of Rock. And I don't know why I'm telling you this. And I'm watching The Professor of Rock, and they're talking about the Hooters. And there's a second break where they start playing the song. And I'm like, what the hell chord is he playing there? And I'm listening to him play it, and I'm like, oh, I got to see if somebody. I didn't want to get my mandolin to figure out what he's doing, so I flicked around, and that kid James, who does those lessons, he also does it under the name Privet Checker or whatever the hell it is. He had a lesson on it, and his lesson was wrong. I mean, within this first second, I'm like, that's not the chord.
Was
That
it
is
day
not
by day?
No, and we danced.
And we danced. Okay.
It's the lesson that I put up. Oh, here's Jerry. Hold on one second. I'm Jerry. I'm letting you in here. Hold on. So what happens is, so now I'm like, fuck, no one teaches it. I got to go listen to the song. So then I put on the record and I'm working out the parts and I'm like, okay, I think I got it. Let me go watch him play it one more time on Professor of Rock. And then I watched him play it on Professor of Rock. And there's like one chord that he played that was different from me. But I went back and I'm like, wait a second. I can't be that far off. I'm not hearing it that way. And then I went back and listened again. And I'm like, no way. What's on the record is what I played. And I think he doesn't play the one pull-off note anymore. He just plays the chord straight. But, you know, that's what happens over time when someone hasn't played a song for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's why I taught the song. I was like, fuck it, I'll teach it. And then I went out and, this is what's funny. I recorded the lesson for that song. Let's say it was on let's say it was on a Wednesday, right? So then I'm like, well, fuck, I should really add the melodica. But I never played a melodica in my life before. So I went on Amazon and I bought one for $30. It's sitting right there, right in front of the.
Then you got to call for a session.
I wish. But then, so then I had to learn how to play do the breathing in it and whatnot. And I was like, and learn the actual parts of what was going on in the melodica. So then I put the melodica in and fucking put it and then posted it. And that went up today, Krell. That's why you look confused. That went up this morning.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, Jerry lost weight, which brings us right back to carnivore. Jerry, are you still doing carnivore?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Yep.
How are you liking it?
Good. Yeah.
You lost a lot of weight.
I lost a lot of fat, Dave. I still
Exactly.
weigh 200 pounds, 198.
Yeah. But I mean, even your face.
So I know. Because I kind of got down to 215 a couple months ago, whatever. And I was there for like 3-4 months, whatever it was. And then, upon your demonstration with the carnivore, I just hopped right in. Got couple little learning curve in the beginning, but I'm pretty hardcore carnivore as we.
Oh,
speak.
good. Good for you.
Yeah.
And let me ask you a couple of questions because inquiring minds want to know. In my audience, I get emails, at least 100 emails a day, saying, "Does Jerry find himself hungry?"
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. First of all, there's no emails. There's
okay.
Nobody's. You know what? I did get one email today. The email today I got. This is my YouTube email. My email today was some woman was like, it's like broken English and Chinese, and they want to send me something for me to review. And I looked at it. It was like a DI box, a wireless guitar unit. I'm not responding. I don't want to. I'm not a review channel. Like. We watch your channel and you'd be perfect to review this. Really? Because you haven't watched that I say all reviews are full of fucking shit? You clearly haven't watched my channel. And if you have, you've been watching it with the volume off, which may be the better way to watch my channel.
Take their free crap. Go ahead.
So carnivore diet is a diet that is a meat-based diet. It's basically you can eat meat, chicken, fish.
Let's refer to it as animal protein.
Well,
throw meat at people.
It's animal-based diet.
Okay.
Yes.
All from the animal.
That's what the carnivore doctor says, because he's no longer carnivore. He eats fruits, but he says he eats a meat-based diet. But yes. So
Barry?
You're not hungry. How many meals are you doing a day?
Well, I'm still doing the 1 meal a day thing, man.
The kid is OMAD, everybody. The guy went OMAD.
I've been OMAD, and I just
it's fucking great.
So
they don't know that. Let me just have my fun. They don't know you went OMAD. The guy went OMAD.
I want to pull my fucking shirt off so bad right now, Dave, but I'm not going to do it.
All right, good. You get
No,
abs?
because I'll show you when I see you.
All right.
Crazy things. I'm walking with weight, meaning I got 3-pound dumbbells, and I walk, fairly consistently 5-6 times a week, 45 minutes to an hour. And then yesterday, Sunday, I did 2 hours. And I walk and I do, my fucking crazy fucking shit. And I walk around throwing the weight around just to increase the burn. And lo and behold, like the muscle is like, defining.
Excellent.
Itself. Yeah. So that's a good thing. But it's, OMAD, walking with weight, and then primarily carnivore. Now
let me tell you the most annoying thing about this diet, and maybe we could all agree, except Prabha because he doesn't do the diet, but he'll still know what I'm talking about. Is when other people that fucking don't know anything about diet and nutrition interject. And did you see me slam that fucking shut the other day on your Facebook page? Don't eat salt, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, the next time I want fucking diet and nutrition information from you, buddy, I'll fucking call you directly. And I wouldn't call you for that. So
Right.
It's annoying as piss. And you know what people constantly annoy me with is I got to say it. And I'm going to call him out of here. And I got to get him on my show. Gary Kramer from Kramer Guitars commented on my picture the other day. And he says, Dave, I'm sorry. You got to stop smoking cigars. This motherfucker, every time I went over his house, and Gary, I hope you're watching. This motherfucker always handed me a Cohiba Esplendido. Gary and I smoked so many cigars together, it's insane. But he's telling me now I got to stop smoking cigars. He's giving me the come to Jesus talk.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Yes, it controls blood sugar. And let me explain basically what yours. Actually, it all for me started with this book, and this is called The Big Fat Surprise by Nina Teicholz, and it's a great book. I wouldn't suggest anybody read it because the print is so small and it would take you 150 years with a magnifying glass. Just buy the fucking book on Amazon and download it to your phone and listen while you drive. Lots of information. One of the things that I found in this book was there was a doctor who said that losing weight and gaining weight has only to do with insulin. And so if you don't eat carbohydrates, your body cannot store fat. And he proved this. He did this whole hypothesis, and then he put 60 men together and gave them a 3,000 calorie diet and told them they couldn't work out, and they all lost crazy weight. So, and of course, the nutrition industry was like, well, that's an outlier. That's, they'll do anything they can to tell you that they're telling you how to eat. When the government tells you you should be having 6 servings of bread and that Lucky Charms is better than a steak, it's no wonder why they're fucking allowing Ozempic. And what the hell is Pilot doing selling that melody to them? What's wrong with Pilot?
Well, it's probably over 30 years old.
Yeah. Hey, we want to give you $400 million if we can use your song. Yes. It's going to cause the fucking death of many people. You said 400 million, yeah? Okay, yeah. How are you going to be paying me that? Is that a check or cash? Can you Venmo me that?
Yeah.
Can you Venmo me 400 million? So anyways, it's so that kind of got me interested in the carnivore thing when I heard that. And then I was like, I don't know that I could maintain living a life with no carbs because I used to bodybuild, and anytime you carb deplete, you like become this angry, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I read about you need to increase your fat. And so before I even started carnivore, and you remember this, Jerry, when I was jacking my fat and getting it really high. And then I was like, fuck, I just let the carbs go. And now it's been for me 87 days, no carbs.
It's almost 3
months. And I believe, Jerry, you're going to be somewhere like, I think you're 2 weeks behind me. So you're going to be somewhere like around 72, 73.
I can't believe it, dude. I just been working and fucking just keep doing my thing. And
I'm only counting just for the sheer number, just because I don't miss it. And I could care less. I'm never going back. And speaking of carnivore, here comes King Carnivore right now. Joe.
Oh my
Whoa,
God.
look at him.
Now, hold on, going back to carnivore now, Matt.
Make him big for a second. Let me look him over. Make him big for a second.
Wow, I look like
Hold on.
shit.
Hold on.
Yeah, then you
what
can
am I going to
look
hit?
me
Oh,
over,
here.
okay?
Hold on. Here we go.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he's the incredible
How are
shrinking
you,
man.
Joe?
Seriously, I look like I've been getting fatter.
No.
And I'm
I
eating
haven't
no
seen you in a little
carbs.
while.
Like
You look good.
the last few weeks, every Monday night, I'm looking at myself on the show, going, "What the fuck's wrong?"
Oh, you look smaller.
Today was
Yeah.
fucking brutal at work. But I hate missing a show, so I'm like, let me put. I ate dinner. I had the burgers with the bacon and the cast iron pan. You can't go wrong with that.
Cast iron's the best, dude.
You know, I got to blow up
And my
people more
cast
often. I
iron
think it's
that
better
out
to
is
watch like this.
season. So I
Yes,
my kid, I
Snowball
said,
says your
let me
face
get
eats.
on there and at least give a 45 minutes, half hour.
Yeah.
But work was fucking brutal today.
All right. So
All
let
right.
me ask Matt. Matt, I'm going to
I
make you
can
big
see
for a
it.
sec because this is what
right.
we're doing.
I can see it.
How's your diet as far as because Matt's carnivore as well? Everybody.
This kid's lean.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's great, man. I mean, I know my body fat's in the single digits now.
Yeah.
You look good.
Meanwhile, I was talking to Matt for 5 minutes, and Matt tells me he cut his hair, and I'm like, "Oh yeah," because this is how I know Matt, like this.
I mean,
There we go.
Yeah, you're getting vascular.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
yeah, it's been going well. I mean, I haven't measured it yet, but I can tell that it's under 10%.
So Jeff H is asking to describe a day's meal. So I will tell you what I had today, and I will not be eating for the rest of the day. I'm already done. So I woke up this morning and I had 3 eggs with smoked salmon and cream cheese, all scrambled together, and 8 pieces of bacon. Then I had a cup of coffee, which had a third of a stick of butter in it, and some MCT oil, and I went to the gym. Tonight I came home. I had a rotisserie chicken, so I ate, I don't know, maybe 8 ounces of rotisserie chicken, and then I had a burger with cheese, no bun, just the meat, cheese. And then I had a glass of diet orange soda with a splash of heavy whipping cream. And that was it. That was my meal for the day. I won't be eating again. Not hungry. I wasn't even hungry when I ate dinner tonight. Now, how about let's go with Jerry. Jerry's OMAD. Jerry, what did you have today? I'll make you big.
Just within the last hour, I had probably a 1 pound hamburger, and I murder them on both sides. So it's not rare inside, but it's got a lot of flavor, salt, pepper on the exterior, and cook it in butter, and then put some cheese on it. And I had some fat coffee with it. I like that. It's I can only eat now. I have my regular coffee in the morning.
And what is your fat coffee? What are you saying? You butter?
I have a good tablespoon of butter, and then I do use heavy whipping cream.
Okay,
Just
that's
a
fine.
splash.
That's fine. No carbs.
Yeah,
It's good.
but I have to have that shit at night or when I eat. I can't have that in the morning or it fucks
Gotcha.
up fast.
I gotcha.
I kind of realized that I was stuck at like 201, 202. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Yeah.
And then, I'm ingesting probably 300 or 400 calories with my coffee,
Right.
which isn't a lot.
Well, the calories don't matter. It's just the fact that you're spiking your insulin a little bit because there's protein in that butter.
If I go north of 40 calories, it breaks you fast. That's in my informal research. That's the number. So you can have like this littlest bit of something.
Oh, a fast. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for your fast.
Or
I'm sorry.
You can get out in exercise and counteract that. But anyways, I love it. As you said, it's like a treat having the butter coffee. So
And
I'm
now
having
home.
dinner now,
Okay.
So, all right. So I had a fat coffee and a big ass burger, and I'm fairly full, satiated, as you say. And then however, I may eat in an hour,
Well,
We'll
you
see.
still get your window open. You opened your window. You have a window.
Yeah, but dude, sometimes I fucking calorie restriction. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't calorie restrict. Do you,
I know you
Matt,
will,
are
but
you
you're working
calorie
your ass
restricting
off.
on your carnivore?
No, I never have done the calorie counting. I mean,
And how about you, Joe? Are you counting calories?
No, you kidding
Yeah, I
me?
don't either. It
Oh.
doesn't matter.
Well, I just feel like sometimes when I don't exercise, I don't want to have too, you know.
Yeah, but your body doesn't work like that. That's the whole point of this diet is you can absolutely just forgo counting because if you don't exercise, you're not going to burn off your reserves. But if you don't exercise, it doesn't mean the food you're eating is going into your fat. It won't. It can't, as point of this diet. So that's.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
now I want to ask. Oh, let me put me on me for a sec. So now I'm going to ask a couple of other questions because this is important, guys. If you aren't familiar with this diet, the high amounts of fats that you eat on this diet, your body is now running off of fat for fuel.
Right.
But your brain, so I have mine on Wednesday, but I've had 3 other people that have had theirs done while we did it. And I'll get to that, Brian. And
I
you'll
did
be
mine.
surprised at the results. Oh, wait, Matt, you can answer that.
Yeah, I had
Here's
my
Matt.
blood work. I had my blood work done about 2 weeks ago, and everything was like perfect. It was like, how they'll put it, like if it's good, it's in green. If it's bad, it's in red. Everything was green. There wasn't one red on anything.
Nice.
Yes, real butter. And you want to get the sorry, that's for Cheech. You want to get the Kerrygold grass-fed butter. The taste of grass-fed butter is Rick Grimes is 100% right. Paul Harrell is the best gun YouTuber. I love that guy. I do not eat avocados, as avocados is a fruit, and I don't eat any fruits. I don't eat anything that did not have parents or come from something that had parents. I do not eat avocados, apples, any cucumbers, anything that is considered a fruit. I do not eat. You can, and there's a carnivore doctor, Paul Saladino, who's very much for that. I just don't subscribe to that. So the thing I wanted to ask everyone before the questions start coming in about the blood work and about the butter and about Paul Harrell, who I love, which I have a great Paul Harrell bit, is that you have a certain amount of alertness and you have a certain, your brain functions so much better, you sleep better. So let me just go around the horn and find out here. And I'll start right in order here with Matt. Matt, how about you? How's your function for that? And
it's been great. I mean, before I started this, I was usually tired most of the day, sleeping crappy, and just a lot of brain fog, and also a lot of aches and pains, like getting up in the morning and just
Totally.
things. Oh Jesus, my hip, all this. It's all gone.
Totally. All the inflammation goes.
Yeah, and it's still getting better.
Right.
I had a chronic problem in my hip where there was some kind of inflammation in there where it was like, if I sat down for a long time, I'd get up, I'd be like, oh shit, it took me a minute to straighten up.
Absolutely.
And it's gone. It's not completely gone, but I'd say it's about 95%.
Let me just answer a couple of things in the chat here. Ruffalo, you can eat strawberries on those Atkins type. This is not an Atkins type diet. It has nothing to do with Atkins. Atkins, you could eat vegetables and fruits. This is nothing to do with that. Strawberries have a lot of problems in them, and I don't recommend it to anybody. In fact, I would say keep away from all vegetables and any fruit that's high in sugar, stay the hell away from. In fact, on carnivore to me is not any fruits. You can't have any nuts. Nuts don't have parents. They never were from a living thing. You can't have anything that. So the other thing that I just wanted to say, you can't have strawberries. Can you have cheese? Absolutely. Dairy comes from animals. You can have cheese. Make sure it's 0 fat and you don't want orange cheese because that's vegetable coloring. You don't want any of that. Let me go to Joe real quick. Joe, how's your mental, what's the word called? Acuity? What's the word? Acuity. That's the word. I knew I was rhyming with it.
It's good. Even when I wake up in the morning and I'm still groggy, I get to work. I'm still, sharp as a knife.
Yeah.
If you remember, like a year ago, I was having trouble sleeping. I had to get the melatonin.
Yeah.
Now, I get the best sleep I've gotten in a long, long time. There's
Yeah,
other
Andrew
there's other
Collins,
things
peanuts,
too.
no. Cheese, yes.
You know, I'm 55 years old, but like Dirk Diggler, I can shoot again. You ran out of film,
Yeah.
I can shoot again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can keep going.
Excellent. Real quickly to Andrew Collins, peanuts, and let me just say this about all nuts: they're all poison. You will not believe all the aches and pains that will come out of your body that you think is because you're getting older. It has nothing to do with you getting older. It's the fact that you're getting older, yes, but for years you've been putting these toxins in your body and you haven't stopped. As soon as you take the toxins out of your body, the aches and pains go away. Let me ask Jerry. Jerry, aches and pains, how you doing?
It's a distant memory, to be honest with you.
Really?
I still have twinges, but man, I feel so much better. So much.
And how about the mind?
Oh, fantastic. I got to tell you, you know what I do for a living, and I've been doing it every day. I've been very successful as of late. So, and I'll tell you though, I kind of get so keyed up, I have a hard time going to sleep, but once I finally settle in, the 6 or 5 hours I get is okay, where I used to get 8, 7 or 8 prior. Getting up earlier, like Joe said, getting up, hitting the ground running, boom, going. Yeah. Everything I was kind of doing before, but just better. And I'm older
guys,
than
nuts.
Nuts.
You guys eat nuts on this diet?
No,
I'm not.
There are no nuts. You can't eat it. You don't understand what I'm trying to explain to you when you cut nuts out. So let me just say this. Emily, who is now doing more of the Paul Saladino carnivore, which she's added fruit. She likes avocado and cucumber, which both are literally fruits. Anything that has seeds on the inside. And she was eating spinach and almonds, and she cut out the spinach, and her stomach she had some stomach issue. Almonds stopped, and now she's eating dairy. She can eat cheese. She thought she was lactose intolerant.
No kidding.
No dark chocolate. No chocolate, no sugar.
Now,
none of any
kind.
kind.
Remember, I was doing the keto before I started doing this, and a major part of my diet was nuts.
Yeah.
And I had issues.
Yeah.
Now without the nuts, I'm having, and I was eating the nuts to get fiber to help go to the bathroom.
Right.
On the carnivore, I could eat a block of cheese,
Can't do keto
no
bars.
problem. No
Why
problem.
is Joe out of sync with his voice?
It's StreamYard.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm hearing him after he.
Yeah, there's Kerry Gold. 6-string Brian, let me just say this. So a lot of people ask questions like you guys are asking, and it's because you haven't done the diet. It's very difficult to sit here and any of us and explain to you this, but it's very difficult to explain. You're not going to be hungry.
Yeah.
There's never a point where I'm like, man, I wish I had a keto bar. I'm sitting there going, fuck, what am I going to eat again? I don't know if I can eat. I'm stuffed still. I'm full all the time. I never get hungry.
Wow.
I got to tell you, I only have in the morning. I don't even have breakfast. I just have the bulletproof coffee, and I usually don't eat till after 2:00. Sometimes I'll eat at 12, but generally that. And I just want to answer Snowball real quick because he asked if any of those aches and pains were from accidents. No, they were not. They were just from inflammation. I'm almost positive because they're all gone now. No, none of my aches and pains were from any accidents. So.
But I will say, so what I'm trying to say is it's really difficult to get across the message that, they look at him, that you're going to be hungry, that you're not going to be hungry because you don't understand it. And you're like, oh no, I need a protein bar. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need a snack. You're not. No, you're not. This
is the goodie, Dave.
Yeah. It's so far
right there. That's a
it's so far removed. But it's so far removed from me to sit there and anyone who knew me or knows me knows I used to eat 5 or 6 times a day. I live in a kitchen. I like to eat. I'm not hungry. I can go in my kitchen and be like, yeah, I'm not going to eat anything. Mm-hmm. Cheese doesn't bind you up. You'd be surprised. A lot of the things now, and I'm glad you brought this up, Cheech. A lot of people when they sit and tell me about the problems they have with certain foods. It's not that they have problems with certain foods. It's you're having problem with certain foods because you're eating other foods that put toxins in your body. So like I said, Emily used to have a problem with cheese. She cut out all the vegetables, and now she has no problem with cheese. Yeah. You don't know what the issue is until you cut it down to the things that you really don't have issues with. So cheese hasn't.
I can't lay off the cheese, and I had trouble with cheese. It would bind me up. But just doing the carnivore, I'm having no trouble with cheese.
It's because the toxins aren't going with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's amazing because, and this is just what I think, and then we'll go around the horn and see. I feel a lot younger since I started carnivore. Like, I just feel like I don't have the aches and pains. I'm alert. I sleep great. Mm-hmm. I no longer watch Murder, She Wrote. There's just a lot of What about you guys, Matt? You feeling? Do you feel younger?
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's nuts. It really is nuts.
Yeah, no, and I was never a morning person because, I worked late nights for decades, and I was always getting up at like 11 or noon or something, And now I'm getting up at 7 a.m., and I'm like not having a hard time with it. It used to be I'd get up all groggy and shit and be like dragging myself out of bed, and it's not like that anymore.
And Jeff, you can play just like Eddie Van Halen on Carnival. No, but the thing is, like I say, it's just it's definitely like, so I have there's a guy who I smoke cigars with. He does carnivore. He got his blood work done, and his doctor was scratching his head and says, whatever you're doing, do it. So Brian does keto, lost 50 pounds, felt great, went back to some carbs, not a good idea, Mike. Yeah, so carnivore, I think, is the next step. And there's a great doctor on YouTube who was a keto doctor who went carnivore. His name's Dr. Ken Berry. Mm-hmm. The great thing about, the difference is with keto, to lose the weight, you really have to watch your carbohydrate count. You have to keep it below 50. If you do extreme keto, you're keeping it around 25 or less. With carnivore, you don't do any carbs, but you don't count calories. If you want to sit there and eat 2 steaks, and in the beginning, I recommend shoving food down your throat, especially high fat. Steak should be high in saturated fat. And the saturated fat is something that I think is so effing important. I can't stress it enough. Because if you eat like just chicken, the fat, it's not fattening enough to make you satiated. You have to have bacon with it. It's weird because
it's the easiest diet to follow too, man. Because there's only one rule: just don't eat anything with a carbohydrate in it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. And you don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to count calorie. You don't have to, make any other decisions but that. That's it.
Yeah. And the thing is, what you realize when you cut out the carbs and you bump up the fat, you don't need the carbs and you don't want them because you're never fucking hungry.
Well, it's not even part of your body. It's like, okay, you have protein, you have fat. There's no carbohydrate part of your body.
Right. And there's essential there's essential fats, and there's essential fatty acids. There's essential amino acids. There is no essential carbohydrate.
Right.
Yet the government wants to let you know. So cheddar cheese, you can get white cheddar cheese. Now, the reason is because that orange is just a vegetable dye. So you can get organic, or you can get just white cheddar. But yeah, orange cheese is just a vegetable dye. I forget the name of the actual, what they call that dye. Does anyone know what they call it?
No.
Look up orange, Krell, look up orange vegetable dye. It'll give you the name, and you'll see it in the ingredients.
I'm putting a link in the chat. This was a video that was on my Instagram feed last night about seed oils. I don't know if you like this guy or not, but he makes the point perfectly. If anyone,
are you talking about Chris Kanabi?
No, Carnivore MD 2.0.
Carnivore MD 2.0
I don't know
is Paul Saladino. Oh, he's I've been talking about him all day. He's the one that's.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Saladino's the guy who eats fruits now as part of his diet.
Okay.
But he was carnivore strict for 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's
talking
why
about
he's
the linoleic acid in the seed oils.
Yes, and the guy who does the best presentation of that is Dr. Chris Kanabi. It's on YouTube. It's called "Are Seed Oils
Obi-Wan
the
Kenobi.
Excesses?" Obi-Wan Kenobi. So did you find out what's the name of that?
No, I was like, you said orange vegetable diet?
No, it's just say vegetable dye and cheese. It'll come up with a name.
Oh, dye.
Yeah, vegetable dye.
I like
Annatto.
sharp
Thank you.
cheddar.
Eric Johnson has
That's
it.
orange though.
What
Mine's
is?
got no carbs. My sharp cheddar. I love
It
sharp
can,
cheddar.
right? It can, but it has a vegetable dye that I just stay away from
I didn't
called
know. I
Annatto.
never saw. I didn't see that in the ingredients when I looked.
Yeah.
'Cause I stay away from.
It'll say
anything with that
Annatto.
shit.
I
Let
completely
me,
get the
let me
diet,
pull it up now
and I'm gonna do it. But there are people who eat nothing.
because
but
I got a
crap and
fuck
don't
ton of it in the
exercise.
fridge.
Isn't telling someone like that beats a poisonous pizza poison someone reckless? No, because they still are poison. It's very high in oxalates. Now, those things have a taxing on the body. There are plenty of people who have insulin resistance and have a lot of medical issues without being fat. Fat doesn't have to be one of the things that your body, how it reacts to insulin resistance, Ben. So just because you appear that you think somebody's healthy, that doesn't mean anything. There are thin people that drop dead of heart attacks. However, they weren't dying of heart attacks before the turn of the century, 2 centuries ago.
Hey, Dave, I have a
Well,
question.
this isn't seed oil. It's made with annatto.
That's what I just said. Annatto is the name for vegetable dye.
Oh,
No, it's not seed oils. It's just a dye that they make from vegetables.
well,
Yeah.
Dave.
Condiments, salt and pepper.
Mhm.
Now, there's a guy who I mentor for the carnivore diet, and he has to do barbecue sauce, and he found a zero sugar,
really?
zero carbohydrate barbecue sauce,
Where's
and
this?
he uses it.
What is the name?
Please.
Oh, seriously?
Look, I'm getting tired of putting mayo on everything.
Wait, that's a nightshade.
What is?
Barbecue sauce, tomato based.
Well, yeah, but that's what
Andrew,
he's.
lunch meat is okay if as long as it's got no carbs. Because
Yeah,
there's
so
that doctor that wanted the whole thing. If all you could afford is processed meat, that's still good to do carnivore.
Yeah,
What is
totally.
that Ken Berry, whatever is it?
Dr. Berry, yep.
Dr. Berry.
Dave, I need to ask you something.
Yeah, do not take them, Brian.
Dave, the cheesecake thing. I looked at several places for that, the powdered stevia. I could not find any that didn't have like 3 or 4 grams of carbohydrates in it.
Get do you go to Sam's Club? Get Truvia. It's what I put in my lemonade.
Yeah, it's Truvia. Right.
Yeah,
That's got
that's
carbs in it.
erythritol.
It says it has carbs, but it's carbs from sugar alcohol. It doesn't count as it's not carbs.
It's what is that? The one that's nothing.
Erythritol.
Yeah, erythritol. It's basically nothing.
It has no insulin. It has
Yeah.
no effect on
So
insulin.
even though, because I did see that.
Oh, yeah, it says that. Yeah,
cancels
but it
itself
doesn't.
out. Yeah, it basically cancels itself out. I use it in my coffee, my lemonade. When I make
There's a couple of
heavy whipping
carnivore
cream,
channels
ice
that
cream.
actually draw their blood after every sweetener, so you can watch what their blood does.
Uh-huh. So
That's a
Truvia is basically zero carb then.
yeah. It's sugar alcohols. Yeah, it's sugar exactly.
All right. So that and okay.
But Andrew, that's not bad. I've been dying for some beef bologna lately.
Okay, so Six String Brian, there's a video out by Sten Ekberg, who's a holistic doctor, and he shows you that he eats like 100 eggs in 30 days and then does his blood work, and it shows that his cholesterol goes down. You have to understand your body is producing cholesterol. Your body produces 75% of the cholesterol. Don't ever take a statin. Let me just tell you also, there's another great doctor who goes off on statins. He's the Indian guy from Texas, and I'm blanking on his name. But Sten Ekberg does the one with the eggs and shows your cholesterol goes down. When you take in higher saturated fats, your body produces less cholesterol, and then you overall will have less cholesterol in your blood. But cholesterol is important for hormones. You want cholesterol in your blood. They have the world scared about cholesterol, but that doesn't mean shit. No one with high cholesterol is any more of a risk of a heart attack. Low cholesterol is dangerous. High cholesterol is nonsense.
Let me give you an example. Back in
But if you want to bring it down, eat more saturated
2002.
fat.
I had to go have an exam in order to stay on
That's right.
basically welfare and food stamps at the time. This was after my parents died. I was not in a good place. So they did blood tests and your cholesterol is really high. You need to go, go see a doctor and get something for that. My entire outlook on shit with life back then was, if it's going to fucking kill me, it's going to fucking kill me. We're now, 2003, 20 years later? Didn't see no one about it. So, fuck off. Now, what you were saying about that holistic guy, just to point out, what was his name?
Sten Ekberg.
Yeah, not Tor Ekman. Stay away from Tor Ekman. He'll
Right.
turn you purple, and you'll have to have your fucking tonsils out.
Yeah, no, cholesterol is important. It makes your hormones. In fact, I mean, there's just I can't explain all the good that's going on, but like all the things about everyone being alert, that's because their cholesterol is their body's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's I just say it's a great diet. It's working for 4 of us up here. Now Krell does keto.
Well, I didn't do keto. Well, I did intermittent fasting.
Oh, intermittent fasting. I'm sorry,
And
but
I
that's
was
like a
on
form of
6-hour window. I do more like 8 hours now. I didn't eliminate carbs, but I mean, like I don't really eat carbs that much to begin with. It's like I have pasta maybe like twice a month or something, and maybe rice here and there. Like today, I had some sushi and a salad.
Oh, don't talk to me about sushi.
Had bad experience.
Oh, just last week.
Yeah.
Lunch.
Man.
But yeah, anyway, so it's interesting stuff. And there's lots of videos. And if anybody wants to watch these videos that I suggest, if you're on Facebook, you can join Team DL's Carnivore Nation. Just join that group on Facebook. That's a group I run, and it's all carnivore. And everyone posts like their food, and there's tons of videos in there from YouTube for you to watch.
It's meat porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, you know what? Here's
I
the
like
bottom line.
that.
You have 5 of us here. Now Chuck's not here. That would be 6 of us.
Right.
We're
Chuck's,
doing it
Chuck's
actively.
Carnivore.
No one's reporting anything negative. I wouldn't want you
Right.
to get hurt. And if something was going on with me, I wouldn't lie about it.
Right.
I say
Yeah.
keep the fuck away.
Yeah.
I feel great. A year ago, mentally, I was in the fucking I was fighting to survive and could barely work. I still can't stand work, but I'm doing it fine.
Yeah.
You know, GIFD, get it fucking done.
And now, how many, what day are we on now for you
With what?
for sobriety?
Hold on. Let's see. I got my little window right here. We are on 609 today.
Wow.
Wow.
May 31st will be 2 years. So that's unbelievably, that is fast approaching. January ends tomorrow.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah.
So, Dave, I think one thing that everybody who's in the chat that should have told to them is that there is that transition period. If you start doing this, it's not like you just ease right into it. Your gut does go through a change, and you're going to have the shits for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't have
Well, you were doing keto for so long, you edged in, and so did I. I never had any of the problems. But if you want to know how to avoid that, you can email me and I'll walk you through it. But basically, it's about increasing your fat, cutting your carbs slowly over like a 2-week period. You still might shit your brains out for 2 or 3 days because you have all those microbiomes in your intestines and everything that's got to go from that lives on sugar. But for the most part, you'll get through it, and it's easy. It's not like it's a painful thing. It's just like sometimes you like, and then it's just all fucking. I mean, there's a few people that don't get.
Maybe it lasted longer for me because I switched like that. I went from eating rice all the time and doing eating all kinds of carbs to just zero. And yes, Cheech, pork chops are great.
You can eat all the pork chops you want.
Yeah. But yeah, it lasted a couple of weeks. And you were even saying Joe Rogan was saying that he had that problem for like
2 weeks of it. Yeah.
2 weeks of it. Yeah. So that's what it was like for me, and it was like, it didn't like ruin my life or anything, but once I got through it, I was glad it was over for sure.
Totally, Hannah Bomb. Totally. I mean, you definitely, once you get it dialed in, well, Speed for Hire, you can do, what, Carnivore 2.0, Paul Saladino says the best thing in the world is hamburger. You could tell the butcher how much fat you want it. You can buy high fat, which is the cheapest at Walmart. Mm-hmm. And it's just great. And
you know what though? I've been having trouble. I keep ordering the high fat.
Is there a lot of women
they never
doing
have
this?
it? So what I do is I'm making my burgers in that bacon fat after I finish cooking it.
I know 5 or 6, Ricky, that are
like that.
5 or 6 that are doing it that I know of.
Yeah, there's a lot of them on YouTube. You got that one that eats a stick of butter a day.
Yeah. Yeah, Eric Johnson. I never even got it. I got to be honest. I never got the shits because I was so low on carbs. Anyways, I was only doing half a cup of oatmeal a day for like 3 months. When I finally just cut out the oatmeal and that was all my carbs, I was already already eating high fat. I didn't really have any of that. It was a real smooth transition. In fact, in the beginning, you almost feel when you start eating the right amount of fat, once you regulate your fat, you almost feel high. You know what I mean? You get like this feeling of wow, do I have mental clarity? You know what I mean? I did anyways.
Yeah. I feel that way after I eat roast beef.
And then I climbed to the top of a building and I was like, I'm going to fly. Oh, sorry. That's every 70s show when some girl took PCP. Right. Every 70s show, a girl takes PCP and she's climbing up She jumped off the building. She was on PCP.
After school special.
Yeah. That was
Helen Hunt. That was Helen Hunt.
Yes.
Jumped out of us. Yeah. I remember that.
Off the subject, they on Netflix I saw the other day. Now they have That 90s Show. Have you seen this?
Oh, they do?
And it's the mom and dad from That 70s Show. And I watched about half the first episode because I couldn't stand anymore. They had, the son and the girlfriend, the redhead and what's his name? Eric. They actually are in there and they have a daughter named Leia, and the kids they have on there now are just terrible. There's none of that chemistry, none of the.
That's why you're the only one that knows it exists.
Well, I just saw it last night or
it's a
2 months ago.
Snowball, let me just say this. On Carnivore, you cannot drink milk. You can drink heavy cream because heavy cream has no carbs and no lactose, but you cannot drink milk. Milk has too much sugar, too many carbs.
Really?
You can also not have. Yeah.
There's no carbs
heavy
in light
cream for my coffee. I had to get the half and half, but it's only got the 1 carb per serving.
And you can also you cannot have cottage cheese too high in carbs.
No. But light cream, no carbs.
Oh, light cream has no carbs too. Yeah, as long as it has no
Less
carbs, you're good.
too. But you don't give a shit about that.
No, I want the fat.
I know. But I'm just telling you. I read the fucking label on everything, dude.
So that's what.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Matt, how old are you?
Oh shit, I don't want to say.
All right, I'm 57.
I'm older than you.
Oh. All right, good. You look fantastic. That's all.
No, actually, I am. I'm 57, but I'll be 58 in March.
All right. Well, I'll be 58 in July. So you're born in 65. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You look good, kid.
So do you, man.
All right. Thank you. Well, I tell everybody.
No nuts, Brian.
You're calling me kid. I'm older than you.
Yeah. I tell everybody.
3 months.
I do the road work, and I have the energy to do it. That's the great thing I think about this whole thing. If you do this program, then there's no excuse why you can't go out and move it around or fucking chase tail or do whatever the fuck you want to do. Whatever you used to do, you can do again.
Well, his wife would be upset about that.
She might like it if she, a little more rock'em sock'em out of Matthew. You know what I mean? So,
she's not.
You never know.
I use light roast coffee because I like the higher caffeine, and the lighter the roast, the higher the caffeine content.
Correct.
Anyways, but Brian, no almonds. Yeah, I don't know if you typed that recently or anything. Just so everyone understands, if it doesn't come from something that's alive, you can't eat it. So milk, dairy, those things come from animals. Feta cheese, goat cheese, all come from animals. Then the meat from animals, and that's it. Bacon, beef, chicken, fish. But can I have broccoli? No, broccoli's a vegetable. Can I have an orange? Orange is a fruit. No. It doesn't have, it's not from a living thing. You cannot eat it.
Well, something that people brought up in the chat too, didn't really address, I don't think, is that, what's it costing you guys to eat all meat?
It's cheap.
It's cheap.
Yeah, I haven't
Buy in
noticed any.
bulk?
Yeah, big increase.
Not so much buy in bulk, but okay, so like I go to Walmart. What does a pound of hamburger cost?
$5.23, $5.50.
Four and change at Walmart when you get the 27.72%.
You shop at the right places, you can get it on sale for $2.99 a pound.
Yeah, so you can eat hamburger, but if you're only eating 2 meals a day, if you're eating 2 meals a day, that's half a pound at dinner, and then what are you going to eat? A couple of eggs in the morning and something else. So you're not eating all the time anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You don't eat as
food
much.
goes so much further.
Yeah, you don't eat as much.
Well, one thing I want to say is that when you buy meat, if you have a freezer, like a chest freezer or something like that, when it goes on sale, buy a lot of it and freeze it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I haven't been affected by the prices because I've had stuff in my freezer.
But yeah, I mean, as far as like, the other day I spent maybe $50, $60 on some meats and stuff. And when I got home, I was like, fuck, I got enough food now for 2 weeks because I'm not eating all that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a concern in the beginning, but yeah, you can stretch your buck.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easier.
You consume a lot less, and and then you cook at home.
Yeah,
you're not getting takeout.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's really
takeout.
It is harder to eat out. It's harder to eat out.
Very hard to eat out.
Yeah.
I have to bullshit everybody. I tell them, listen, I'm allergic to seed oils. Can you make sure that steak's cooked in butter? And I would like a side of bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Does that come with bacon? No, you can get French fries, baked potato. No, I want the bacon that you got on the cheeseburger.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing is that even if you do go someplace, you can get a steak. They always want to give you bread or, carb with it,
Or even the sides.
There are no sides that have no carbs hardly. All the sides are carbohydrates.
Yeah. It kind of blows people's minds a little bit, but after you've been doing it a while and you look good, they're like, yeah, okay. All right. It's not some slob asking you for that.
It's
So at Costco, Cheech, what I get at Costco is I buy the smoked salmon and I make sure that I buy the wild, not the farmed. They sell there, and I put that in my eggs. And I also get this chicken breast, that sliced rotisserie chicken that I get there. That's fantastic. But yeah, as far as other meats, they do run thin. But you can also buy the frozen burgers are excellent at Costco, and you can buy the 70-30, and it's not that expensive. And that'll just think that I think there's 20 burgers in the bag. That's 20 meals.
Yep.
But yeah,
I had hamburger every day. Well, 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Today's Monday. So I will have probably a burger tomorrow, and then Wednesday I'm gonna have a steak.
Dave, you get the flat iron steak at Walmart?
I have gotten it. Right now I have the New York sirloin in my fridge, and I just went through last week 2 ribeyes.
Oh yeah, they get the ribeyes at Wegmans for like cheap money too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, you just shop it around. You can find stuff. Joe, so how long you been doing the carnivore?
Stephen Frazier, you're not eating that much protein. I used to eat 150 grams a day before I started the diet. And so now I'm probably eating 70 or 80. So no, I would say no. I would say when I was doing bodybuilding, I was eating 150 to 200 grams. I've never had a problem with too much protein. The thing with this diet is your body doesn't, and with this doctor explained in this book, boom. Hey, Rock Daddy, what's happening? What he explained in the book is that you don't you don't store what you're not using. You only store what you create with insulin. So if you're eating a lot of protein and you're eating bread or lots of anything that has carbohydrates to spike your insulin, well, then you're going to start storing shit. It has to be 0 carb or 1 carb, Cheech. I'd stay away from it, but some people do it. I don't. But yeah, so anyways, if you're not eating carbohydrates, your body doesn't store it. In fact, and not to get disgusting, because it is a disgusting topic, your shits are going to be way smaller. You're going to go from shitting like a fucking dog, like a German Shepherd, to a fucking small cat.
No, not even German Shepherd, like a fucking Great Dane or Saint Bernard.
Right. You're going to go from shitting like that to shitting like a cat.
It's going to be like the beginning of Jurassic Park where they see the fucking Triceratops shit to nothing.
That's right. To almost nothing.
You're going to
because
think there's something wrong with you, and there's doctors that made YouTube videos to point out there's nothing wrong with you.
Right. That you're actually not shitting as much and everything gets smaller because your body is taking all the nutrients out of the food and you're eating nutrient-dense food, so your body's using it all. Right. Yeah, the first time you're shitting right. And so when you eat all that shit, all the garbage that they tell you is okay to eat, and hey, we should eat this and you should eat this, that's why you're shitting what's spinning around your bowl, because
your body's putting out the waste, when waste is garbage. But with the carnivore, your body uses pretty much everything because it's not garbage. It's not waste. It's it's processing it perfectly.
Yes. It is what we call PhD, the perfect human diet.
Oh, I thought you were going to say perfect human dump.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
No, I'm not making it up. You can buy T-shirts that says PhD, perfect human diet. It's part of the carnivore and keto lifestyle thing. Yeah. So it's incredible that will change as part of the diet. You feel better. I can't stress enough, not just physically, but mentally.
You're right. Strong.
And I think a lot of people in the world today are being so fucking malnourished by what they're being told, what the USDA tells you and what everyone in this group, because I'll say this and I'll say it often, what you know about food, you don't. Because when you sit there and you see these doctors that'll talk on YouTube, there's some great ones, but they'll sit there and say, this you need because this feeds your brain and all that other stuff. And then it's like, well, kids aren't even getting this anymore. They're told 5% of their intake of saturated fat is all they need. I'm taking in like fucking 60%. 70% of my diet saturated fat. 5%. The difference in the way I feel is like I can't even go into it. It's insane what they're bullshitting, and then they sit there and they have all these fucking pills. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I brought my A1C down. Well, listen, you fucking piece of shit. Put your fork down and fucking wake up to what you're eating. There's a video where they have a girl and she's talking about like her reining in her diabetes, and she's walking with a pizza in her hand. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Don't take the pill. Put the pizza down.
Yeah.
Eat a steak.
Put the pizza down.
If anybody is in the chat and they're on any medication, email me and I can get you off of it. I'll say that. Anything that's medication due to a metabolic issue, diabetes, type 2, obesity, high blood pressure, elephantitis of the penis. Yeah, you're right, Bomb. Their job is to keep everybody sick. Feed them sugar, bread, everything else. Yeah. And then people sit there and tell me, they're like, there's one girl, every video she makes, everything she posts on Facebook is food. And it's food. It's like all veg, all nothing I would ever touch. And then messages me, you should probably stop smoking cigars. I should? Look what you're eating. You're eating poison, but I'm not writing it on your fucking page that you're eating poison. Leave me the fuck alone. She apologized. I did react like that. I don't want anyone to sit there and tell me, you shouldn't smoke cigars. Really fucking, what's his face? George Burns lived to 101.
Did he really? I thought it was 95.
No.
Somebody look up when George Burns died. Was it 100 or
I think
100?
he died 100 because it was a struggle to get him to reach 100 because
It took 100 years.
Yeah, he smoked cigars for fucking.
That was the struggle.
yeah.
He smoked, by the way, he
Take
also
100.
smoked 15 cigars a day.
That means he never did not have one lit because it takes
Yeah.
about an hour to smoke one of those fuckers.
Yeah. Well, my favorite line by Groucho Marx ever was he had a woman on on You Bet Your Life. She had like 10 kids. He goes, honey, I smoke a cigar, but I take it out of my mouth once in a while.
Yeah, I got him fired.
What do you got, Krell?
100. Just a couple months over 100.
All right. He lived to
One-
be 100.
January 20th, 1896 to March 9th, 1996.
Yeah.
Wow.
But was he, I mean, what were those last few years like?
Yeah,
I didn't hang out with him. What's the last few years like of anyone who reaches 100? What do you think? They're out playing golf at 99?
Well, actually, no.
Lived a long, full life.
Well, I know, but like, Helio Gracie died at 95 and he was still on the mat like a few weeks before he died.
Maybe he shouldn't have been. But let me ask this question. What year was George Burns born?
1896.
So how old was he in 1977?
So 77.
4 years older than that. So 81.
Yeah, so
81 years old, and he's playing God in a movie. And acting the balls off of Ralph Bellamy, Barnard Hughes. You guys are all looking at me like I'm like,
no,
this is hilarious
reading-
that I'm pulling out these old actors. What's going on here? This is a
No,
great
I know
show.
what you're talking
actually
about.
reading.
But the point is that it's not that cigars maybe didn't kill him, but that doesn't mean that
But
they
he
haven't
enjoyed his.
killed doesn't mean they haven't killed other people or
Have they?
contributed
Well,
to it.
Let me
Have they?
I
don't think so.
Let me sum
The
something up.
New England Journal of Medicine once stated that it's a stress reliever for men to smoke cigars, and it adds 4 years to your life.
Really? And where did you read this?
Yeah, when
New
did they
England
say
Journal of
that?
Medicine.
When?
Adds
Oh, I
4
don't know.
years to your life.
You're exactly.
How
From,
many
from
cigars?
the removal of stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many cigars were smoked though? That's what I want to know.
Fucking cares. I mean, what I'm just saying you can find
Well,
a fucking
overindulgence in anything isn't good for you.
yeah. I mean, that's like exactly. Shatner smokes cigars.
He's 90. He looks good.
I've never seen Shatner with a cigar.
Someone said he smoked cigars the other day because we were having a discussion. If you could go back at any point in time, who would you want to smoke a cigar with?
I mean, I've
So
tried
it
a few
says,
of the
I
ones-
typed into Google, does William Shatner smoke cigars? It says the good old captain expressed he enjoys cigars and single malts.
Wow, he's like me.
Yeah, but he's also
And the
kind of
malt
bloated
scotch.
looking too right now.
He's 90 though.
Although, yeah, he has outlasted all the other cast. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they're all gone, but Sulu and Chekhov.
Now, who was the one, as it Chekhov? Who's the one that was in the episode of Columbo with Shatner?
Well, if it wasn't Asian, it was Chekhov.
What's Chekhov's real name?
Walter Koenig.
His Walter
Yeah.
Koenig, yeah.
That's it. He's on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They were on an episode together of Columbo.
Yeah, but I've tried a few of the ones that you've recommended, and at times I've enjoyed them. But you know, they do give you a buzz. I mean,
Well, yeah. Well, if you're nicotine sensitive, I don't get a buzz from them.
really, yeah, I do because I must be sensitive to them because I like
Yeah.
I'll stand up and be going, whoa.
Yeah. That's just because it's new. After a while, you just like it doesn't do that. But it's like it's each its own. I'm not saying you don't have to like cigars. I'm saying you could hate cigars. I don't care. What I'm saying is when someone says, you really shouldn't smoke them. First of all, most people don't even realize you don't inhale cigars.
Oh, geez.
The average person has no idea. So they think you're inhaling these things.
You will throw up.
So the girl that messaged me about it, I said, you don't inhale them. She goes, you don't. And I found that most people don't know if they don't have any. So to me, it's like, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Can I say something quick? I want to point something out because someone was saying about the cost. Okay. My last shopping, which was, I got an order from Shipped January 26th, right? 4 days ago. I had 21 pounds of ground beef on the order.
Wow.
That totaled $100.73, right? 1 pound a night. That's 21 nights. Guess what that comes to? All right. Divided by 21. That's $4.79 a day.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
You put a little bacon on there. Whatever else you have, you're eating for about $8 a day.
Yeah, I just want to say to Ruffalo, why can't you do both?
What do you say?
That's all I'll say to that.
Yeah.
You can
just
still
make
do
sure
both.
Make sure you put the right one in your mouth, though.
Or masturbate with a cigar.
Well, if you could put the other one in your mouth, Krellby, you'd be fucking making movies, not fucking not watching Pornhub. You'd be on Pornhub.
It'd be a feature.
You know what, Dave? I meant to tell you I was gonna, and after that I gotta wrap it up because I'm thinking I'm gonna have number 2 tonight, the hot cake. If I can, because I'll have 2 hours left after this if we wrap up soon.
Yeah, we'll wrap up within the next few minutes.
I was watching a rant, and I woke up the next morning. Really, thank you, Speedfire, because I think I look like shit. Maybe it's just me. And I actually meant to send you a message, Dave, going, "What the hell's wrong? Did you guys?" I'm thinking they must think I'm not on the diet or I'm drinking again. I look like hell. But listen,
you look
what
good.
you were saying about the fucking people, a space cadet listens to Iron Maiden for the first time.
Yes,
I was thinking about that the next morning. You know how I wake up and have crazy thoughts? And I was thinking Dave should make a video and call it a guitar instructor watches Corey Chase get stuck in a washing machine for the first time. And I thought, wait, but if he actually did that as a fucking parody, but then at the end goes, now everybody, if you thought that was fucking stupid, look up any other reaction video on YouTube. Tell me that wouldn't be. I can see Dave sitting there going, how the fuck is she stuck? There's so much space to get in there. But the best is when she got stuck in the couch cushion with a hand in there. There's nothing to get you stuck.
Right. It's great. Now, let me ask Krellbot, or anyone. So the rant that he's talking about, I did a rant on, it was the other day I was smoking a cigar. And then before we go, Joe, I want your review of the Todos Las Dias. And I was smoking a cigar and I was talking about people that come from a place of authority. So what happens is this guy, there's a guy, he's like classical composer, watches here's Black Sabbath for the first time. Like, so what? Why do I give a fuck? Because you're a classical composer. Now you have some valid, you know what I mean? It's coming from a place of authority. It's the I'm coming from a place of authority bullshit. And it just irritates me, like opera's teacher listens to Jeff Tate. Well, if you're listening to Jeff Tate and you're telling me that this live performance, he's fucking great, I wouldn't take a lesson from you in a million years because he's so fucking pitchy. He's all over the place. Even Jeff Tate wants to take that down. He watched that version and thought it was the guy that does Jeff Tate Rocks. You guys remember those Rocks videos? Okay, so now going back to cigars, I sent Joe cigars last week. Joe, what did you think of the Todos Las Dias?
It was good. There was only 2 things that could stop me from appreciating it, I think, to the full extent. One, instead of snipping the end, I was going in with that circular thing.
Ah, yeah, you can't
And
do
the
a punch
fucking
on it.
end started to crunch. So then while smoking it, you got that
Yeah.
constant.
Yeah.
The other thing was it was the first cigar I had in it about a week and a half. So even though it was smooth in the beginning, it's a little sharp until you get used to it.
It's a strong fucking cigar.
Really?
Well, the funny thing is, I don't think so. But anyone else that's
so
the guy
that's the most I've ever smoked. I got to the point where I went to grab it, I burned my fingers. I said, "Oh, that's it." But
well, you told me you like a heavy cigar. So the guy who runs who works the humidor at Mr. J's, someone gave him one the other day, and he smoked one, and he said to me, he's like, "I don't know how you smoke that thing. It is pure pepper."
Really?
And I'm like, I didn't think so at all. I think it's smooth and delicious.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm crazy.
I
had a cigar the other day that was fantastic called the Rocky Patel 20th Anniversary The Edge. It was very good. In case
I
anyone,
think I may have had one of those.
it's really
I've
good.
seen
It's
It's
one
one
of
of-
those bundle packs I've gotten.
yeah.
That
Well, the Edge,
Tuxedo
I'm sure, is
Edge
there. The
was good.
20th anniversary just came out this year on it.
Dave,
Yeah.
I've seen you with these. What is it? A Henry Clay Warhawk or something?
Henry
gotta
Clay,
try that.
yeah.
Okay, what do you
I've
think
got
of
some
that?
of those.
What do you think of that over the hot cake?
So the hot cake is better. I mean, the hot cake is a more flavorful. The other one, the Henry Clay, is like. Do you try the Intemperance?
Yes, I like
Take
the hot
all
cake
the
better.
Take all the bitterness away from the Intemperance,
Mhm.
and that's what the Henry Clay tastes like. It's a much better tasting Connecticut cigar.
Okay.
The hot cake is a more of my thing. I only smoke. The thing about the Henry Clay, I just smoke it on Friday and Saturday. I mean Saturday and Sunday mornings with a coffee because that cigar is good with coffee.
Mhm.
But it's not my favorite. No, I mean the Todos Los Dias is probably twice the strength of the hot cake,
Mhm.
and it's very good.
How many are you smoking a day?
I had one
Two.
today.
One today. All right.
I don't know if
It's
I'm going to
doing
smoke another one, but it depends. I go anywhere from 1 to 3.
Mhm.
15. No.
I mean, it's not like it's in your mouth the whole time. You sit there, I'm reading, I'm watching something, and then you puff on it, whatever.
Well, I know. It
Yeah.
just seems like a lot of time spent smoking cigars because it takes so long. If it's
It's an hour.
almost
No, it doesn't take long for me. It's about 45 to an hour.
yeah, that's about right. I was thinking about it now.
Yeah.
but that's still.
But I don't really. But it's like if I'm in my garage doing it, I'm not watching TV. I'm not. It doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I usually am listening to music, so I have Alexa in my garage, and she'll play Michael Schenker radio or whatever the hell I'm listening to.
All right.
All right, everyone. Listen, it's 10:20. We went 20 minutes over, but Joe came in late, so we figured we'd stay a little bit. I want to thank everyone for coming. Jerry, thank you for having your internet fixed.
Yes.
And you're in a
Thank God.
different room now. Let me just see if I can see what this room is. Hold on. This is upstairs.
It's cold down in the shop, so that's why I wasn't down there.
Oh, it's nice here.
All
Evil,
right.
evil.
Fuck yeah. I'm a big evil fan. Right.
We
on.
all are, man. We all
Awful
are.
Knawful.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Awful and awful.
Yeah.
Well, Speed has a question before we leave.
Oh, Speed did what did he say? Any of you guys' opinion? Oh, the Squire. I mean, I think Squire makes good stuff cheap, and the contemporary strats are pretty good.
They look good. If the Squire's in about the 450 to 550 range, it's usually really good. My Squire strat is as good as my Made in Mexico strat. It's fucking amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let me see what my ending.
Oh,
thing
that's
is here. Hold on.
nice. Look at that. See, roasted maple for 450. You can't beat that. I mean, yeah, if you get a Harley Benton, but those are a crapshoot.
Depends
These are
what
really
style
nice.
you get. It's like if you get the Paul Reed style from
like
Harley
this.
Benton, that's a crapshoot. If you get the Sir stuff
who
that
asked
they're
this
trying to
question?
copy, it's a lot more.
Fucking Speed for Hire got me spending money now. Son of a bitch.
All right. Go enjoy your hot cake. Yeah. And Shell Pink's cool.
Remember,
And I
eat
want to
more.
thank everyone for hanging out. Anyone want to say anything before we go?
Yes, get on the carnivore, eat more, shit less, live long, and fucking prosper.
Excellent.
It works.
Does.
Excellent. Anyone else want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Adios, amigos.
And that
Don't
movie was
forget,
on
everyone,
yesterday.
don't
Say
forget, check
goodbye.
out the Monty Python show on Netflix.
Yes, I will.
Joe doesn't know about it. Joe, have you seen the Monty Python series on Netflix?
Which one? The original?
No, it's called The Almost Truth or The Truth Almost.
Almost the
it's
truth.
it's basically the backstory to Monty, and it interviews all the guys in Monty Python talking about the sketches, how they wrote them and stuff. It's really cool.
I may go to sleep to it tonight.
Yeah, me
it's
too.
excellent.
Ugh,
Oh,
yeah.
and also, rest in peace, Tom Verlaine. We didn't really talk about television or Tom
Yeah,
Verlaine.
Cindy Williams.
Oh, that's
died too.
Oh, Cindy.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Cheryl.
Yep. Lance Kerwin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The original
James at
Wednesday Addams
62.
passed away.
Oh, Lance Kerwin died. James at the funeral. What?
Wait. It says rest in peace, daughter from Adam's family.
Yes,
Wednesday-
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
The original Wednesday died.
Lisa Loring?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was 64.
64.
What?
How did she die?
She had a
I
stroke.
don't want to say nothing,
She had a
but I
stroke.
have to wonder.
Yep.
She had a stroke.
There's
You know
been
what commercial was playing on her TV when she had that stroke? It was Martha Stewart.
The fucking
Now,
rebellion.
who was Tom Verlaine?
He was the guitar player for, and I think he was a singer too for television.
Oh, okay. Jeez. All right,
Speed
gents.
for hire. Listen, folks, there's nothing to see here. This is like what's been going on in the last couple of months with all these young people dying is like fireworks going on in the background. And I'm fucking Frank Drebin going, nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here.
Another egg processing plant mysteriously exploded.
What?
Oh yeah, that was news last night. But you didn't hear that though, did you?
No,
No. But you
The egg
it's out
price is
there
just-
if you know where to find it.
it's unbelievable.
Well,
End of times, everybody. End of
you're not
times.
even fucking joking.
Eat your fucking beef with salt and bacon and Kevin Bacon. All right, everyone. Very good. We are out of here. We is gone. Very good.
Later.
Okay, goodbye, Ted.
Goodbye.